Hey everyone, welcome back to AFTV. Welcome to the Arsenal versus Juventus watch along. It is a friendly, but why do I have a feeling that the person to my right isn't going to be the friendliest even in these matches because he wants to win, don't you, Ty? There's no listen. It's all about winning.
Yes.
There's no room for taking it easy and taking it lightly.
Yes, I do. Thank you to AFTV for inviting me. But the thing is, James, I'm always friendly. You know that I'm always friendly. But when it comes to the game, I'm not friendly in the best possible terms. I try to be respectful, but when, you know what I mean. But like I said, it is a friendly.
What I mean is, it's still a game that we're going to take competitively. We want to win.
We of course we want to win. We want to win, but we know that our main focus is getting us ready for West Ham.
Absolutely. Because always a pleasure to have you, Ty.
Thank you. I'm sorry. I'm going on time. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
And let's welcome everyone else. We've got Kwarme,
yes,
you all know Kwarme, and of course, you all know Artan, but probably not because you've seen him on AFTV before. It's your debut, right?
This is my debut today, yeah.
But we do have the legendary Artan here. Welcome.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for having me.
Look, welcome to AFTV, welcome to the watch on, welcome to everyone. Get your questions in, because even though it's a friendly, and we're taking it seriously, even though it's a friendly, there's obviously, a degree of relaxation in the sense that there's no real jeopardy on the line. This is about getting ready. So guys, do send in your comments, do send in your questions, anything you want to ask us, anything you want to ask Artan about the music he does. That's actually what we're going to touch on now before we go into the lineups, then catch up with Artan about everything he does. But get your questions in and let us know. Any thoughts, anything you want to know, anything you want to chat about, thoughts on the mood drip links, all that, we'll discuss it throughout the next half hour and then 90 minutes of the game. Fan cams will be out after as well, so look out for that, but no full-time show, unfortunately, but that will be back for Boxing Day. See lots of you already in the chat. I'm excited for this. Should we go through a starting 11, guys? Shall we?
Absolutely.
Yes. I need to hear this. Drum roll.
All right, so we've got returning from the World Cup, it's Aaron Ramsdale.
Oh, hey! He should have played. He should have.
No, it's good to see him. Obviously, he didn't kick a ball out in Qatar, so it's good to see him here, ready to play. We've got right back Ben White, Rob Holding, Gabriel, and Kieran Tierney. Round of applause for that.
Come on, boys. Happy with that? That's strong.
In midfield, Martin Odegaard, Thomas Partey, who we saw return again in the last friendly, and Granit Xhaka is back from a full schedule at the World Cup. We played every game for Switzerland, and the front three that we've been accustomed to seeing in these friendlies. It's Reece Nelson, Fabio Vieira, and Eddie Nketiah. So wish them the best of luck.
Good luck.
Love the channel. Keep it up, says Hydro Blaze. We absolutely will. Listen, a strong 11. He's getting players ready as quickly as he can for the World Cup, and I think that back four with White, Holding, Gabriel, Tierney might very well be what we see going into the West Ham game because of Saliba going all the way to the final. There's rumours of illnesses in the French camp, so it could be. It could be that Saliba has to step up and play. We'll see nearer the time. And there's a lot, that back four, Zinchenko's not got any minutes in these friendlies, which is a strange one. Let's start with you, Artan. That team, if that went out against West Ham, would you be happy?
Do you know what? I'd be happy, but I'm also kind of like, with the whole Nelson, I think Nelson, I really want him to do well. Yeah, I swear his contract's ending soon, isn't it? Is it the end of this season, isn't it?
I don't know if it's end, but it is up soon.
And I believe in him, but bro, you've got Martinelli, for example, to compete against. You've got we've got a decent front three. I'm just like, step up, have that moment that Nketiah had at the end of last season, and just show everyone you need to sign me for at least another 2 years, for example, because I just want him to do well. Same with Nketiah as well. I'm like, now is your time where you've shown you can step up when you need to, but now is like, bro, we need you. Jesus is out, and that's massive for me. That is huge. So I really need to see him do well.
You echo a lot of that, Kwarme?
Yeah. I agree with Artan what he's saying in terms of Nketiah. There's a lot of pressure on him because obviously the contract that he signed, the number that was given to him, and has he lived up to it? And is he living up to it? And I mean, in these games you've seen him, score, and he's putting a good performance. But I'm just a bit wary as to when we get back into the Premier League, is he going to be able to actually carry the team from the front? Is he going to be able to score goals? Is he going to be able to contribute as much as Gabriel Jesus done? Because I think us missing out Gabriel Jesus is a big
Well,
thing.
when they talk about focal point, which is a word that gets thrown around a lot when you're talking about strikers, but Gabriel Jesus defines that. You play through him, he assists, he creates, he'll get on the end of things. It's all, you feel like if he's playing well, the team's playing well.
Yeah, 100%. And it's big shoulders for him to live off of Nketiah, but I think it's also in the rest of the team. And sometimes you see it when a major teammate goes out in injury or whatsoever, he's missing. The rest of the team kind of step up. So I'm hoping that the rest of the team will step up. I mean, Fabio Vieira, he looked really good. He scored some good goals.
Excited to see him.
Oh, it's very exciting. Odegaard as well. So I'm confident, even though we're missing Gabriel Jesus, because I just feel that we've got something special this season. So it'll be interesting to see.
It will be. I want to ask you, Ty, because you go to every single game, apart from this one. But you go to.
I try to, fortunately.
Listen, we're just happy you're here with us. But
thank you.
You go academy games, you go to the women's games, you go to. You see so much Arsenal. I mean, it literally is in your DNA. If the clothing you wear every watch along doesn't give it away, you are Arsenal through and through.
Like everyone else, I like to think so.
But what I wanted to ask is, so you've seen the Nelsons and Nketiahs from a younger age.
Yeah, I have.
Did you and do you still believe in them? You guys can do what, say, Saka's doing. And I know Saka's set a very high bar, but there was a lot of hype around these players as well. How much belief do you carry for them, and how excited are you when you see them in the starting 11 as well?
Very excited. I think they can, but I think, and I know you're not saying it, to use Bukhayo's example is maybe unfair.
Yeah.
In the fact that...
No, you are right.
Thank you. Even if Bukhayo's honest, he wouldn't believe where he is.
He's a unicorn.
He was doing incredible in under 21, but he's been lucky in the fact that he got his chance, he took it, and he's just been flying.
Yeah,
but nobody could have thought that, because Reece was the biggest one rated to be what Bukhayo's doing. So that's a bit of an unfair example for them.
Yeah, you're right.
Bukhayo's just been absolutely incredible.
But he's a good inspiration.
He's a good inspiration because I think Bukhayo was saying that Jack Wilshere was his inspiration.
Right.
But we'll look what Bukhayo's done. I think it can be done. I do believe in them. I just think that they have to be fortunate in the fact they've got to get their chance and they've got to take it.
Yeah.
That's what it is. I think Reece has been a bit unlucky because he obviously hasn't done what he should have done. He hasn't played as well as he should have done, but then he's been injured as well. He's been injured, he's gone out on loan.
He's gone on loan as well.
So,
Yeah, let's talk about Reece Nelson. He's a funny one, isn't he? Because I think even when he came on, he had his first minutes in pre-season under Arsene Wenger or whatever. You could see a talented player there. You could see a real, he could move with the ball, and he had trickery and flair and all that. And I don't know, this might sound really stupid. Let me know if you know what I mean, comment section as well. Ty, maybe you'll know better, but I wonder if he had a bit of a growth spurt, and that doesn't always help players. And what I mean by that is, sometimes when you're the kind of nimble winger, you kind of
so quick, and then next thing you know, put on a bit of weight, and then
well, not even. I just the way they train, I'm not one to talk, but when it comes to just being a little bit taller, Jack Wilshere, he used to glide around the pitch, and in that time he got injured, he bulked up a bit, and he could still move, but obviously I didn't
not as freely.
Listen, maybe I'm reading too much into it, but when I looked at Nelson come on against Nottingham Forest, he got the 2 goals. I thought he's had a really good game, but he had a different game to what I expected, and he wasn't the kind of, I'm going to run at you all the time, I get the ball, I'm going to cause havoc, but I'm pass and move, I'll get into good spaces, I'm intelligent. I wonder whether his game's evolved a little bit. I don't know, maybe I'm stretching. But
it must have. You think about the teams that he's been playing at, going abroad, playing in Germany, he's had to go the long route in order to get back into the first team. And I'm sure he's looked at other players, senior players, and he's picked up a few things. In terms of the way he plays, I mean, he's I don't want to say it, or it's kind of rigid. I don't know. But it's not. I'm fine with it. I'm comfortable with it because he does the right things on the ball. But I remember when he first came into the team and he was very free, he was very loose and everything like that. But
dynamic.
He was a lot more dynamic. But I still think he's got it. But I think now he's a lot more mature, which is what you need. And I think it will be great for the other players. And I think even the player we haven't mentioned as much, but Smith Rowe, because Smith Rowe was the one who was tipped to go through, to be like Bukayo as well. I mean, it's
been a shame.
It's just been a shame with the injury, but we've got a lot going for us.
All right, here's a question then. All right, January comes around. Reece Nelson gets offered 25 mil to sell. Do you sell Reece Nelson or not? bearing in mind his contract is up in the summer, sell or keep?
Yeah, I do that deal. That's nothing on Reece.
Go on.
Because I was so impressed with him after Forest. I've liked him in the friendlies as well.
Yeah.
25 million, I think, goes a long way for Arsenal right now.
Yeah.
If it's a case of we sign Mudryk and keep Nelson, or we sign Mudryk and Tielemans.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that for me,
25 million makes a difference, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, we've lost Ty, by the way. We'll be back soon. At the same time, though. Do I still think he could explode to a level that his value goes beyond 25 million? Yeah, I think
he regret like a Nabry. Do you know what I mean? Or
I think it's been a bit too long for me to feel that he's going to go off and be a Gnabry, but he might go off and be like
Willock.
It's a good example. Willock now playing in a team that's sitting third in the table, scoring goals, having a big part to play. That's a great comparison, actually. Yeah. When you look back on that, what did they pay? 25 million for Willock?
I think it was.
It's a good. I mean, it's 35, isn't he?
I agree.
So, it's a great question.
He's a key starter, but I guess with Willock, I think he didn't really get given the opportunity in terms of the exact position and the role he played in Arsenal, which was it's not for what we needed, so we needed him to adjust, but. I think with Newcastle he's done bits, and it makes me look at him and think, oh right, we could have probably actually done with you right now.
It's funny because in that left-sided box-to-box role that Xhaka's playing, Willock is quite suited to that,
exactly.
But he's doing well. I'm happy for him. There's a lot of players there's not a lot of players that leave Arsenal, and I genuinely wish them really good careers.
Oh, really?
That's
quite interesting.
I wasn't wishing Nasri all the best. Or Fabregas, I was hoping he'd regret it. Van Persie, but Sanchez, I had no interest in him doing well. But
that's fair enough.
But Willock,
I don't have no problem with that. I agree, 100%.
Want him to do well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's go through the subs in the Juve 11. We've got this text is small, isn't it? We've got Turner and Hine on the bench. Just a well done to Hine, by the way, for the friendly.
Well stepped up.
Cedric, Walters, Sousa. Obviously Walters playing in some of the summer games as well. He's a right back / centre back. Is that right?
That's right. Yeah, but he's very flexible.
Got Sousa,
versatile.
El Neni, Smith. Koza Dubry, it's not Smith Rowe. There was confusion on the last watch.
That's Matt. That's Matt. He's the captain of our under-21s.
Yeah. Koza Dubry, Nwaneri, Lewis Kelly, Marquinhos, Foran and Butler, Oyedeji. We know in the last friendly, Arteta did really give that kind of first 11 most of the game, up to 70-75 minutes before he really made a lot of the changes. So I think we might see something similar today. The Juve 11, Perrin in goal, Riccio, Gatti, Rugani, Barbieri, Baranechea, Locatelli, Fagioli, Sule, Miretti and Ken. My mum would absolutely kill me for my pronunciation. She's Italian. She'd go, James, what on earth is that?
Can you speak Italian then or not?
Well, Locatelli.
He got a bit of sauce.
It's when there's an R in the word that I can't roll my tongue like that. So I can't pull that off. But anyway, someone in the chat was complaining a little bit about this Juve 11, and I kind of get why. Listen, this will look embarrassing if they go on and beat us, but
I don't know.
There were more competitive 11s out from Lyon and AC Milan. Now, I don't know if that's just reflective of how many players they've had in the World Cup and stuff, but Vlahovic went out the tournament earlier than Xhaka, and he's not back. But then again, Serie A starts later, so it's one of those.
Then again, a lot of the time you can these games are amazing to be like, all right, we need to figure out where our squad depth's at. So we have no choice but to run a lot of these players.
Yeah, very true. I'm just having a look to see what the latest on Zinchenko is.
It is, because he hasn't really featured at all.
So Zinchenko was spotted in training. That's some pictures that emerged. And I think he said in an interview recently he's not far, a little discomfort, so we'll see. But it was his birthday 2 days ago.
Yeah, it was.
Happy birthday, Alexander Zinchenko. And Obi's asking if he's injured. Yeah, he is injured, but I don't think it's anything too serious. But we've said that before, and
it just seems to be a thing, isn't it, with him?
So annoying, man.
It's a shame. But
why does that always happen?
Sorry, the interview you did with Sky. The interview you did with Sky was with my friend Sam Blitz, who I went to school with, works at Sky. Well done, Sam. Just want to send that out there. Congrats to him. We'll get him on AFTV soon as well. He's got amazing insight around Arsenal, spoken to Arteta and stuff. So we'll get him on AFTV at some point. Right, 15 minutes to kick off, guys. Send in any questions you've got for Artan, because I want to just sort of first time we've met as well. First time the AFTV audience has, got to meet you. Obviously, you're a rapper. You do your music. You've had a big hit recently. Just tell us a little bit about how you got into it, your relationship with Arsenal.
Of course. So I'm North London kind of through and through. My dad supports Arsenal. Like I had the choice when I was like 6 years old. You know what I mean? I think it was a good time for football. And I was like, you know what? I just got to pick, keep it in the family. You know what I mean? My family, I'm half Chinese. And all of my family out in China, they're all Arsenal supporters as well. So even though actually in China, like it's a lot of Man U.
Is it?
Yeah, it's a lot of Man U. So you know what I mean? We were the outcasts, but it's all good. But yeah, man, just been making music for now about 5-6 years now. Just dropped my latest song, She's a 10 Baht. So you might have heard it on TikTok if you're on TikTok. But yeah, it's been doing numbers.
That's good.
And yeah, so it's doing really well at the moment.
Oh, amazing. Congrats.
Yeah, and AFTV. Been a big fan of you guys, you know what I'm saying? Big fan for a while. Seen Ty, you know what I'm saying? A lot.
Thank you
a lot
very
on my screens, you know what I mean? Doing the rounds. But yeah, man, happy to be here as well. Thank you for having me.
No, it's really great to have you. Listen, what's it like, sort of, being I've never done anything like it. Being writing music, being a rapper, performing. I mean, it must be just such a sort of extreme life in the sense that it's quite intense. You're putting your content out there, but at the same time when you've got that hit and you had others and then it blows up, it must be quite a roller coaster.
Yeah, it is. I mean, right now this is like the biggest it's ever been for me. So like it's exciting, doing radio shows and whatnot. Everything's like it's fun, but to be honest with you, I thought I'd have this kind of eureka moment where it's like suddenly the stars are out, you know what I mean? Like the lights and camera action. But it's just, to be honest with you, bro, I'm still in the ends. I'm still living in North London. I'm still, doing my day-to-day life. I just enjoy music and more people are hearing it. And yeah, that's pretty much it, really. You know what I mean? It's just fun.
Amazing.
Like one of my main things in life is just like my brand 9 to 5 and 5 to 9, and like eventually your 5 to 9 will replace your 9 to 5, and that's when you're winning at life, when you're waking up every day and just doing what you love. So and that's the dream, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's what I just try to do.
Amazing. Sporty Kid asks, I will be honest, I'm not familiar with all these, but he goes, what was it like making the song with Ghostface 600, Artan?
Oh, Ghostface 600. That was an interesting one because we were two very different people. But you got to experiment sometimes, and that ended up being a banger. I'm not gonna lie, that was a big banger.
Yeah.
But yeah, interesting guy.
What's it like collabing with different artists and stuff? Like, are you always sort of looking for people whose sort of genre of music is quite similar, or is it sometimes? I mean, you can tell I know nothing about it. I've never made music, performed or anything.
You know what it is? Yeah, it's like there's the business side, and then there's the personal side, and then there's the music side, and every artist wants it to make sense business-wise, so it's always like, oh, I just want to make sure that he's bigger than me, so it's hard to find people that will collab because there's an ego behind it.
Is that right?
Yeah, everyone
that's
wants,
interesting. That's very interesting.
When I tell you everyone wants to step up, everyone does. If you saw my DMs, at the moment where I've shouted so many artists to be like, bro, I love your music. They've liked my music as well. They'll be like, I love it, but they won't collab. Now they want to collab, even though it's like, oh, I've rated you for years, but I'm like, bro, I've been shouting you for ages.
Yeah.
Now I'm bigger than you. Now you want to collab, but I've been trying to shout you for ages.
Yeah.
So then it's also me. It's like, oh well, now I'm the guy that's now saying.
Yeah.
So
are you gonna do the same thing?
Exactly. But it's only people that might have done that to me, but you can't be burnt. But to be honest, to answer your question though, it's you want to find artists that you have a great energy with and you just like as an actual person, because if you don't, the studio sessions can be like really mad. Like honestly, like you can because some person might want to do it one way, you want to do it the other way, and if you don't actually get on, you can genuinely have like a problem.
So is that what you do? You'll get together in a studio and
There's two ways. You either make the song and then be like, I'm going to send this song to someone, can you jump on this verse? Or it can be like me and you are chatting, we're like, all right, cool. Let's say you've got Young James, that we're like, all right, cool. In the shoot, like, you know what I mean? Let's go.
That's good. I like it.
I mean, that's I
like that one. Yeah,
That's good.
I don't know who told you that's what they call me.
YG.
And then then we link up, go studio, get a producer, and we cook it all up from scratch. That's what we did with my last song.
That's so interesting.
I always find that them songs are usually better because you actually can go back and forth and everything and create something from scratch, and it feels more special.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah,
obviously I've spoken to you just before we went live, but if there was any artist that you could work with right now, who would it be, realistically?
Any artist that I could work with right now?
Like a dream collab for you.
Dream collab.
That's a great question.
So I'm gonna remove Drake from this answer because
I want to work with Drake.
Yeah, I feel like
I would get into music just to work with Drake. I would find a way.
Why not? So other than that, I'd probably, even though I don't make the same music as him, I'd love to get in the studio with A Boogie.
Oh yeah,
A Boogie.
Yeah, A Boogie.
I'd say my top 5: A Boogie, Skepta. I was gonna say Central C, and I still do, but Central C blew up basically the day that we were supposed to go studio together, and I've never been able to get him in the studio since. I rate him, like, that's my guy though. Like, but yeah, that Central C collab. Hopefully at some point soon.
Hey, that would be class. That would be class. It's interesting what you say about sort of either being in the studio or you write a song and you want someone to jump on. Because I remember watching that Travis Scott Netflix documentary like 2-3 years ago. I didn't realise that with Sicko Mode, Drake just sent him a verse. And I was just that was it. It was incredible. I didn't see Travis Scott listening to it for the first time. So yeah, interesting how it all works. Guys, if you've got any more questions, get them in. But Artan, is an absolute pleasure, having you in as well. And it's a pleasure having Ty, but we've lost him again.
Why does he keep doing this?
I'm just going to get into the commentary.
Oh, he's getting the commentary.
I keep on forgetting my passwords on my phone. I thought I don't do it live.
I'll just do it in the background.
Well, I might talk.
Anyway.
Wenger 1, 2, 3. No, why is it not one?
No, I know I'm speaking, but no one can actually see my password.
No,
they can only hear me
that's
speaking.
clever. Fair enough.
That is very clever.
Fair enough. We got people asking. Bonacha says, "What channel is the game on?" We can see it on both Arsenal and Juve's websites, I believe.
What, for free or? Is it?
No, not on the Arsenal one. Not on the Arsenal one.
I feel sorry for the fans. Sorry.
Dave saying Artan and Crucial Robbie in the studio together.
That'd be a sick collab.
Don Robbie collab to Sam. If you a tune with Potter, that would be mad. I can't lie.
Can I
You lot of trolls.
Hey, keep on coming.
No, I think they might mean Potter as in Potter paper.
Potter paper.
Yeah, Potter paper.
But Potter paper, because we call him Harry Potter.
All the time. I would be surprised.
But Potter paper would be a good
I wouldn't.
Do you know what? Funny story.
Potter paper, yeah.
Potter paper was in my first ever studio session.
Ever
studio session that I ever recorded. Potter paper just walked in. It was like some bando studio, like proper, like run down in the back of someone's yard, and like I just see he come in a vest and that, and like just walked in, and I was like, right, okay, networking on point,
yeah.
George says Artan's got some really good music as well. Support him, guys. Absolutely.
Thank you, guys.
I'm sure you all know Artan. If you don't, go check him out on Spotify and all that. Check out his music and his recent single.
Thank you. She's a timber.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yes, sir.
AFC Max says, Artan, how about working with Yizzy? He's also an Arsenal fan, did the Thierry Henry song.
Yeah,
Big up James and AFTV, 5 a.m. kickoff, Sydney, Australia. And I no doubt you'd be here for it. Yeah, Potter paper, bro. He's from the Ensis, Shane. So that's exactly what he meant. Not Harry Potter, but if you ever want me, why not?
Young James from now, you know what I'm saying? So.
Love it. It's free apparently on the Juve site, says Jonathan. Yeah, but again, I don't know if you can watch it in the UK. All right, guys, as we wait to get Ty back, we are getting ready for... It's all right, Ty, no rush. 6 minutes to kick off, though. We have got 6 minutes, as I said, till kick-off, Arsenal versus Juventus. Have you guys managed to catch many of the friendlies building up to this?
I've been in World Cup mode, I can't lie.
Have you? You've really struggled?
I haven't struggled.
I watched Leon.
Yeah, I watched the highlights. I'll be honest. I'm always honest. No, I've watched the highlights. I've seen the goals, but I've just been in World Cup mode. I mean, I've just been lapping it up as much as I can. Just been total football. It's been more or less like Love Island for lads, isn't it? Like football, just been back to back. So I know we're going to go back to obviously the weekly games and whatnot. But I mean,
I watch every episode of Love Island.
When it comes out, But no, I haven't watched them. But obviously, I've been hearing certain things about certain players, and I'm liking what I'm seeing. You know, there's a few patterns of play. Total Arteta ball, as everyone, or Teta ball, which people are quoting on Twitter. So it's looking good. But for me, it's more or less. I want to watch this game because I really want to see. This is the one going into obviously West Ham. Are we ready? Are we going to be sharp enough? Are we going to be match fit? What players are going to be featuring? So it'd be good to see anyways.
Yeah, I'll be real. The second England got knocked out,
You just
done.
switched off.
I'm finished. I'm Team Morocco, and that's all I care about. Now Morocco out, I'm like, obviously I'm gonna watch the final. Don't get like
Everyone's watching the final.
Yeah, but I'm back on this Arsenal thing now. Like, I'm literally like, guys, like, I genuinely, if we can sign someone just to make sure, like, the Jesus getting an injury, I'm sorry, that really burnt me. So I'm like, if we can sign like Mudryk and ideally Tielemans. I was even Ruben Neves. I was even a little bit like, you know what, I could do with that. But bro, if we make a good sign, I'll say this now. Yeah, if we make a good signing in January and we get a CM, bro, I'm telling you, we're winning the league. And if we don't do that, bro, I swear down, I will get a Tottenham logo on my head, just like my little pattern here. If we sign 2 good players in Jan, top players in Jan, and we don't win the league, bro, I'm telling you, I'll do that.
Yeah?
Wow.
Alright, clip that.
Well, there you go.
I'm telling you.
Clip it.
There's a big fan of yours here, Dominic, who might hold you to that. He says, I'm a massive Artan fan. It's mental you're on AFTV. You and Central C would slap. Everyone would just make it.
I would. Thank you, man. I appreciate you.
Yes.
And this is my favourite name that I've ever heard for the style of football we play. Ticketetta ball. That is absolutely. And do you know what? I was watching. There was some highlights doing the rounds. People were just sort of saying, you know, on Twitter, people are like, "Oh, I miss Arsenal." They just show some of the passages of play we've had throughout the season. There's a lot of tiki-taka in that, like, or you could see the Wenger inspiration in the football that Arteta gets us playing, the kind of quick 1-2s, just trying to move it through quick. City can be brilliant, and obviously Guardiola was the king of tiki-taka. But at the same time, his teams have moved more towards control and possession, and they're more calculated than ever before. Arsenal still have that degree of fluidity and openness that comes with, you know, managers like Arsene Wenger, and I think Arteta's clearly taken some inspiration from that.
No, he has. He's taken inspiration for, you know, definitely from being under Pep, but I mean, he's added his little twist to it, and I've said it in the previous lives or when I've done my interviews. They rate him highly. Pep rates him highly for a reason, and you see it, how he's been able to transform this group of players now. You know, no one would have, you know, conceived that we'd be doing this well, and that the certain players, we'd be getting the best out of certain players, you know. And the passages of play, that it was the Fabio Vieira goal, I believe, was the one that was doing the numbers, where it was just from back to front, the switches of play, the movement. Everyone knows what they're doing. On and off the ball, and it's a beautiful thing, and I haven't seen it for a long time, since the Wenger time.
There was a question for Ty here, and I've lost it. That is just brilliant.
Well, can I just...
I think it's been deleted.
Lost him off the sofa.
It was from Dave.
Go on.
Can
I just apologise for that? And the funny thing is, I always forget my password, because you need a password. I got my password in, and can you believe you still have to pay for commentary? What a waste of time. I thought the commentary was going to be free, but with the match comes commentary, because usually, when we're lucky enough to be at the games, the commentary is free. But now, the commentary, you can't get the commentary via so what a waste of time. But having said that, what you said, Artan, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that with the thing. I don't think you should do it. But even if you do the Tottenham logo, don't worry, because he won't mean anything. Because you know they're so weak in football terms. He won't even show up. He won't show up, so don't worry about that.
And even if I get it though, it'll be gone in like 3-4 days. My head goes quickly anyway, so. But I shouldn't have said that.
Sorry, Artan, I make you wrong there. Once you do it, it'll be gone in 1 second. They don't do anything, so don't worry about that.
That's so true.
Dave asks, question for Ty, would you take Russo at Arsenal? Stina's playing like Lukaku up front. Thoughts and prayers to Viv with her injury too?
Well, first of all, thoughts and prayers with Vivian. We don't know.
Absolutely, it looked bad.
It looked bad, but she has to be assessed. So we don't know. So our hearts and thoughts and prayers go out with her. Would we take? Well, I would take Russo with us. I wouldn't say. Is that an insult? Is that a disrespect to say Stina's playing like Lukaku? Because I think Stina's had a good season. Also, may I say, congratulations, thank you, well done to Beth. Beth means she signed a new contract. She's out for the rest of the season with an ACL. Oh, bless her. I remember that happening. Absolutely, so brilliant. Let's hope she's all right.
So the players are around the centre circle. Yes. And apologies if this is bad of me, guys. I'm actually not 100% sure what the minute silence, unless it's completely escaped my brain. But if we could just get, let us know in the comments. They've just done a minute silence in the middle of the pitch. I feel like I'm being...
No, you're not. You're not being insensitive.
I'm being stupid, not...
No, you're not being insensitive, James, because you don't know what it was for, isn't it? But obviously, hopefully it was impeccably observed.
I've got no doubt.
I've got
no doubt the players and the fans would have been amazing at that ground. Still filling up at the Emirates. It's a Saturday night. It's a cold night.
It's a cold night.
It's a cold night.
It's a cold month.
Very cold night.
Bro, it's a cold month.
This week,
it's cold.
This week,
It's cold. It's cold.
it's been
I'm wearing a t-shirt. In this
Lewis says he's very confident, 4 or 5-1, and that leads us into score predictions.
Score predictions. Yeah, you're right.
I would love that to be, but I would take my tried and trusted 2-0 because it seemed to be working so far. So I go 2-0 to us, hopefully.
2-0 to us.
Me, I'm going 3-1.
3-1?
Yeah, 3-1. I think Nketiah's gonna want to show up today.
Come on.
The man
Boys, let's go.
4-1. I'm going 4-1, man.
4-1.
Oh, you're even going bigger than...
Yeah, I'm
okay.
going 4-1, yeah. We're at home.
Okay.
I think I'm on that kind of 3-4-0, yeah.
All right, okay.
It's going to be an open game.
Oh, you lot are right.
Just trying to have a little look.
Okay. Quick question: are we going to start seeing more of this Odegaard and Vieira now?
What do you think of it?
Possibly.
I haven't seen enough of it.
Oh!
What was that?
Needs to talk.
Communication.
Needs to talk.
Communication.
But yeah, what do you think of that? Because I always thought it was an either or. Now it's a and. I'm trying to understand. Like I haven't seen enough. Oh,
He's not said.
He's got to get on
Well
target.
played, Reece.
come on, it means business.
Good.
But I think
start.
he's done well, but I think he's got to get on target once he's in there. But he's done
Reece
well.
Nelson, I mean, he sort of just wins he doesn't even win the header. So between him and the right back, he kind of knocks him
When he's
away.
there,
He's doing everything
It's a
that
poor effort, but it's a good run.
Yeah.
and
It is a good run.
positive.
He's running out of players. That's something that we said that he wasn't doing as much. But
Absolutely right.
That's good.
Absolutely right.
Well, I hope it's more a sign of things to come, Artan.
Yeah.
Because the more variations we can have, the better.
Yeah, I
That's what I'll
agree.
say.
Yeah.
I completely agree.
No, for real.
I see Vieira on the right a little bit like I see Smith Rowe on the left in that they can run at players because
can
they've
run at
just
players,
got the skill to do it. But they're not naturally direct players. They're more pass and move. They're more creators. They're more central. And I think Vieira and Odegaard both on one side feels a little in back. Like now I'm getting a bit boring. Anyone watches Tactical Insight might enjoy this. But it's like when Vieira's on the right, you know, like Smith Rowe on the left, Xhaka kind of bombing on beyond. I feel like there's a nice dynamic there. I think you've got a lot of players who come to feet with Odegaard and Vieira there, but they've been playing quite well. But I would rather a winger came in that was a natural kind of someone who could slot in for the plan A to keep going. But it's Partey on the ball now, and Arsenal have started pretty well here.
Yeah, we're looking pretty good. Glad to see Ben White back in action. I'm not gonna lie.
He's good. Player of the month, isn't it? He won Player of the month.
Yeah.
So he should. Juventus haven't had a touch, have they? So far.
No, not yet.
Kwarme, how important is it to get minutes on that Emirates pitch before we start? Because obviously it is, lucky. He went for the through ball there too and he nearly pulled it off.
It's vital, James. It's vital. I mean, this is our main thing. I mean, you look at some of the players after they finished the World Cup straight away. It was right. Xhaka was saying, right, I need to get back to business. We've got something second half of the season to fight for.
Yeah.
I think the players in the back of the mind, even though they've gone out on international duty, those ones that were featured in the World Cup, they know that this is the opportunity. This is a once in a lifetime thing for them, and we could make history in that sense. So,
Do you think that sped up the return of some players? You know, Granit Xhaka, he flew straight
came
to
straight back.
Dubai.
Saka came back.
Tomiyasu did too.
Yeah.
No one in there.
Yeah, I think of course it sped it up. I mean, wouldn't you? I think everyone wants to be around this. Everyone realised that this is a magical moment.
Yeah.
Great ball. That was a great ball.
What a start from Arsenal.
This is
fantastic.
Honestly,
This is a ball across.
Brilliant.
This is a really fast start, even in friendly terms. This is
Xhaka ball in. Odegaard.
ooh, Tika-teta.
He's got to get it.
That's it. Tika-taka.
This is good.
Listen, I've got to say, it's a great start, but I've got to say, you know I've never been critical. Martin and Reece, they've got to get those on target. Because you're in great positions.
Yeah.
What?
They've got to get this one. Yeah, this one. He's got to get on top.
This one's a difficult one, you know.
It is, but
That's a difficult one
I could,
for a left footer.
Do you know what I
But
say?
listen, they're doing well. They're doing well.
Yeah, no, it's good. Yeah,
They're doing well. So let's hope we keep up.
Oh, misplaced pass.
Yes.
Xhaka.
What was you going to say?
Straight
Artan?
on him.
I think Reece does amazing things, but if he could just like have those, put them in the net, I think that's what is really the difference.
Well, this is what he's got to do, isn't it?
That's just literally it. If he was to bring some more goals, I think it would, one, boost his confidence, and two, just like give him that credibility that he needs internally to just be like, you know what, like I'm gonna shoot and gonna score.
That's Juventus, isn't it? Juventus have actually got fans. That's unbelievable.
Don't this Juve, bro.
You two, when I said he wasn't going to be friendly, you two went, ooh. Now you know.
No, because I didn't.
You got no fans.
And what I mean is, obviously, I know Juventus have fans per se, but I didn't know they'd have fans for pre-season. Listen, big them up. If they've come from Italy, big them up. If they're in London, stick them up. If they've come down from Italy for a pre-season friendly, then pick them up. Big them up. Because that's brilliant.
Massive club. They'll have fans all around the world. I'm sure some have flown in. Christmas trip to London, maybe.
Yeah, bro. We don't want the mafia coming knocking on the door for us.
Absolutely not.
That was
not that all Juve fans are a part of the mafia. I'm not.
Ben White with the effort there.
Like I didn't realise that Juventus fans were going to be. That's quite interesting.
I think my aunt's a Juve fan.
This is a world sport.
Is she there?
No. She'll be in. It's funny actually. My cousins are. I think my mum liked Roma, but wasn't really that into football. Now she's all Arsenal. My cousins are into Milan. They're best friends at AC Milan, who we see sometimes.
No way.
And then my aunt, who's the mother of the... Oh no, my uncle's an AC Milan fan as well. And then my aunt, who's the mother to the three boys, one of them's actually living with me in January. He's an Inter Milan fan. They're all into... So
where's your family from in Italy then?
Milan and near Como as well.
Okay.
So, yeah, basically.
Okay.
I lived in Bologna for a year though.
Oh, sick.
What was that like?
That was amazing.
Really?
It was unbelievable. Yeah.
So you lived in Milan.
No, I lived in Bologna.
Have you ever lived in Milan?
No, never. I've stayed there a lot.
I went to Milan.
But I've never lived there.
Milan was fantastic. I don't know what you make of it. I was only there to watch us, but I thought Milan was fantastic.
Yeah,
it was superb. The seat said it was brilliant.
Yeah, Milan is nice.
Was
it Lake Como?
I've been to Turin, where Juve is.
Yeah.
My brother lived there for 6 months.
James, why are you saying sorry? James, you don't have to say sorry.
Oh, because I was interrupting.
That's all right. You can all interrupt each other. No, I'm so impressed with this start. I really am.
Yeah, Juve haven't really had a chance to.
And that's the way we like it. You got to say that Granit is an absolute football machine.
He is.
Because he hasn't even taken any break, and he's out. No. It's amazing.
I'm proper on players taking breaks though. Like I'm fully like if you please take breaks. Like that's why.
Don't tell Turkish.
Yeah.
Turkish is like, why aren't you back?
I just think like you need it. I just think it's so important. Like,
it is important. It is important.
Like, so, have you seen the FIFA president being like, there's that new tournament? You see that?
What, the club?
Yeah.
I don't think that. If that happens, that'd be amazing if that happens. But I can't see that. It's too much football.
You reckon?
Yeah.
It's too much.
I think he's announced it. Like I think it is happening. I don't think
it's gonna happen.
Yeah, but then
they said it was supposed to happen in 2021 or 2019, but then COVID. And then so now they've just basically delayed it to now, but this is apparently happening.
They said the next one is going to be,
But then, have the clubs got?
I don't know if they're agreed to,
because they're not. What has happened? The big clubs are just going to want to pull out.
Yeah,
that's what it will be.
Yeah.
Because I think it's a great idea in principle to have a World Cup at club level, but there's too many games. You can't have a. I don't think so. I like the ideas because it's interesting. Because you never think of a World Cup at club level, but I think it's too many games.
Yeah, I agree.
It's too many games.
They would have to remove other competitions.
Exactly.
I don't think they realise that even though it's clubs and it's not, an international tournament, I think you're still diluting the magic of the World Cup by even just having a club World Cup.
Yeah. Because
that's the pinnacle. The tournament football is special in itself.
It is.
I don't mind them kind of readdressing the tournaments that clubs have and what they play in, and maybe having something a bit more, not just Europe like the Champions League, but something that kind of involves the world. But I think I'm not sure, like was it a 24, 32 team tournament, whatever it is.
32 it's rumoured to be 32.
I don't think that's the answer.
I don't know how it would work. How would it work? It's amazing.
But then I think maybe, listen, I don't know. Guys, what do you guys think of it? Let us know in the comments. I don't like the idea. I think it's too much.
They're trying to squeeze too much out of the players.
It's too much.
It's like, what more can you do? There's no other time. Like, there's literally, players have just not got the time. And also, for example, I'm not on it because of our situation. Jesus, injured. All right, cool. Imagine we had that as well.
Sure. That's what I mean. And that's the problem.
And then let's say we lose Partey. Oh my God. I swear. I don't even want to think about it. I actually do not even want to think about it.
Let's explore the positives. It could be a really fun tournament. Like it could just be really fun to kind of see all these clubs from around the world competing. I think it's something else just to get excited. It's a good block. But Arsenal are just all over Juve. First 10 minutes,
we are
suffocating.
I love that.
And we won the ball back immediately. Reece Nelson.
Man up, give him a shout, give him a shout.
Partey's controlling things.
Well, that's what I mean. He's so crucial, Thomas, isn't he?
I think another positive is, and maybe I'm just speaking for myself, but I think fans that love clubs but maybe don't necessarily love international football. I like international, but I don't love it.
Yeah,
I think being able to sort of, would I want to travel to a tournament for 3-4 weeks to watch Arsenal play? I probably would, actually. I mean, I was in Orlando this summer. Oh, really? What a hit! Well played.
Fair play.
That was a great start.
That was
That came
good.
to what? Reece Nelson on the edge.
So the header here, it's Nelson who flicks into Vieira.
4.
That's
how you strike one.
Vieira takes a touch on his knee/thigh and then just volleys it to the near post.
Yeah,
he strikes it well, doesn't he?
We're happy with that one, Ty. We're happy with that one.
yeah.
That's a connection. That's a connection.
But that's a connection.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
Corner's dealt with by Juve, is it?
I thought it was humble.
No, but they're countering, but look at that Gabriel.
Oh, everyone was forward.
Let's say they remove the Carabao Cup.
Yeah.
That can go.
You know, something like that. I also think the one thing I think they're forgetting is when a season ends, like the last day of the Premier League season, then you've got the Champions League final, the FA Cup final, they all come in a period of weeks. I think then to have that kind of end of a season,
downtime,
and then you come back and it's like, okay, start from scratch, new tournament. I just don't feel going to have the energy for it. It's a long season.
No,
people be like, okay, you've had the disappointment of everything. Look at Liverpool, right? The way their last season ended. Lost the title on the last day, looked like they were going to win it. Lost the Champions League final. Would they want to be going into a Club World Cup?
Yeah,
of course
not.
No.
And how does it work in the Club World Cup without trying to sound negative? World Cup is different at international level because you got all the fans together. But if you got a Club World Cup and you got rivals, how do you? That's dangerous on off the pitch. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because the thing is, in Qatar now, it was interesting. In Qatar, they said the figures are that there was no
arrests.
No arrests. But at the same time, here and Wales, England and Wales, there's 151 arrests. Now, it doesn't take a rocket scientist, I can't even say it properly, or a genius to work out that the reason why how many of those 115 arrests were to do with alcohol?
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
And the problem is if you have a Club Cup,
yeah,
and you don't, let's say are you going to serve alcohol? There's just going to be so many problems.
Crazy,
I mean, even in the Champions League already, you have mad problems.
This is what I mean. So how do you do that? And when you're going to have fans who are rivals staying together, how does that work?
I think it's the rivals. You know, but okay. So Morocco, I think, is hosting the next one. So
yeah,
the Qatar World Cup's very unique in the way it was all kind of in one city.
Yes,
I think
absolutely.
Morocco hosting the Club World Cup. I wonder whether it'd be across the country, and maybe you don't have that sense of, say Arsenal play Chelsea or Tottenham in the quarterfinals.
Yeah,
I think you probably more likely have them all in and around that venue for that 1 or 2 days that the game's on, and then they but I don't know. I mean, there's still a lot to learn about it. There's a good comment from Dave. Let me just get it up. Sorry, Dave. He said, Club World Cup is good for spreading finances. I mean, maybe, he says football's very Eurocentric. I mean, maybe.
Yeah, that's true.
I do agree with that.
We'd agree with that. We'd agree with that, but I'm just...
Go on. He did do well. He's trying to get the shot off.
And also, the thing is, are they going to do a Club World Cup without alcohol?
Well, this is the thing. When you look at the World Cup, some of the things, because I was listening to like Simon Jordan and them lot on TalkSport, and they were talking about what things would you take from this World Cup that you would bring in to the future ones. I thought it was really good, the fact that he didn't have alcohol. I think it showed the world that you don't need to have alcohol in order to enjoy a game.
Absolutely brilliant.
And people, kids, everyone can go there and feel safe.
Exactly. And like I said, but imagine stressing the point. Nothing in Qatar, but 151 here.
Yeah.
That just says everything.
Yeah.
That says everything.
But would they eradicate alcohol from future competitions? Would they allow it? Would FIFA, and especially in Europe, would they allow that?
I hope so, because that would be a way forward.
Budweiser, all of these, would they?
This is brilliant. This is absolutely brilliant.
This is good football. I mean, we got them penned in.
This is really good football.
Yeah, but that's a good question, Kwarme. Would they? Would they?
Because financially, I mean...
Well, that's the thing, financially.
I don't think so.
I don't think.
I don't think they would do that.
I like to think they would, but I don't think they would.
I don't think they would.
There was a lot of complaints about the World Cup and certain things not being allowed, but I think it exceeded everyone's expectations.
It did. It was
a lovely.
But that's why
it's been a lovely competition. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. I can't lie.
Yeah, I have as well.
Yeah.
The World Cup's a funny one for me. I've enjoyed. I think it's had some great moments and some great stories, but I think. And I don't even mean to sound like a biased Arsenal fan when I say this, but Arsenal's football throughout the first half or first third of the Premier League season was so mesmerising to watch.
Absolutely.
That I didn't, and then watching City week in, week out, I think United have improved. I think watching all of it, I've just found the Champions League and Premier League far more enchanting than I found. Enchanting, sorry, just the quality. I've been more like glued to my TV because I'm like, this is so good. I don't think the quality of football's been there, but that's not. I don't mean to blame I'm not blaming the teams for that because they didn't have any friendlies going into it. Hardly any prep generally. And they don't get a lot of time together anyway. So that's just me. But I think the moments have been incredible.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of drama.
I think that's the difference. Like the quality of football. These players, like let's say Arsenal, for example, they play day in, day out with everyone. They like have a massive system. Next thing you know, you're in a team for your country, and you're playing with so many different people. For example, with us, you got Southgate, who's the manager, playing I don't know what style, more defensive, for example. Completely different. But I'm like you, where I don't actually enjoy necessarily there's no tiki-taka, for example, anywhere, in my opinion.
Gary Neville tweeted, "Where's the high press gone?"
Yeah.
In the World Cup?
I think it's just like where...
It's different, it's tournament football.
It's different, absolutely.
It's different.
But fair play to the actual... What's happened in the World Cup? Fair play. This has been for me one of the most entertaining World Cups.
But it's been wicked, and I don't want to sound negative, but also it's been wrong in the fact that I can't understand the way Uruguay confronted the referee. They'd never be able to do in the Premier League. And I'm so disappointed because you saw Morocco confronting the referee, and that all stemmed from Uruguay, and I think that's ridiculous because you couldn't do that in the Premier League.
Yeah,
and I think that's
you shouldn't do that in football.
No, that's what I'm saying.
There's so much of that in football.
That was disappointing.
Yeah, I was watching.
I was so disappointed.
England New Zealand rugby a couple of weeks back. I really don't watch rugby that much, but I was with my girlfriend's family and they all love it, so I was just pretending to enjoy it. I'm joking. It was a great game actually, but I was watching the way they call it TMO, their version of VAR, and how they deal with everything and refs. I was like, football's a lot to learn from this.
A lot to learn.
It's just like we're very stubborn. That the fact that we're
that was close.
We're not looking at the other sports and how they use the systems.
No, but do you know what it is though? I feel like my personal opinion, is I think that they don't want to use, like, for example, have the referees. In rugby where you can hear what the referee's saying and it's so on point, everything is sick. I feel like with the umpiring in the UK, I just feel if it's their decision, why are we going to let people scrutinise us at our jobs even more than they already do by letting people hear what we're saying? Because that means that, like, you know what I mean? There might be certain banter that's flying around that they're just like, it means we've got to be boring in the match, or you know what I mean?
I actually think it humanises them. I think it humanises them.
But that's fine.
I mean, listen, it could make them unlucky. It could make them look more incompetent than they seem already, or it could make us go, okay, I don't agree, but I see where you're going with it. I think it also makes them more accountable.
You can understand,
and Artan, that's fine if you say that, but then if they don't want that, they have got to get the referees to come out and explain their decisions.
I think they should do a post-match interview every single game to answer it. Honestly, like, I think there's no accountability.
There's no accountability
in any shape or form. There's no sorry. There's not even anything.
That's what I mean.
There's nothing.
But then you say there's no accountability, Artan. Yet the FA, the Premier League, whoever it is, the PGMOL have got the guts to apologise to teams. So then why are you not apologising to everyone?
Exactly. Then? And there's like, the worst thing that I've seen is like a referee get like a game ban or something for making like an absolutely and I'm like, what do you mean? Like a game ban for them to come on then the week after and do the same thing again?
But that's what I mean. It's ridiculous. Obviously, you cannot condone confronting the referee and abusing the referee.
Of course.
But there has to be accountability. There has to be accountability, and something has to be done.
No,
anyone can make a mistake. Anyone can make a mistake. But I find sometimes, I don't know what you lot think. Sometimes the referees are very arrogant when they tell the men to go away. If the managers or the players come up respectfully, what do you mean go away? That's ridiculous.
100%.
That's real. Obviously, no one can condone any, but it's like they can't be questioned. I don't want to go too much into me, but I've even had that when I've gone
up to the referee
after the game. I want to know your
go on, that was
unlucky.
I want to know why. And he said, I'm not talking to you. I stood by his car. Why are you ignoring me? Exactly. Why are you ignoring me though? I've got every right to come up. No, but I've got every right to come up and ask you why you made that decision. And he had to talk to me. I just waited at his car because I'm not talking to you. Can you imagine? But I shouldn't have to do that. If I come up and ask you respectfully, you should be able to answer me. And the funny thing is,
stood by his car.
I stood by his car. I've said it before. It's when we played crew under 23s or under 21. But the funny thing is, what's interesting, and obviously I don't want to diss male referees because there's a lot of good as well. Is when I've gone to women's football and spoken to the female referees have said to us, we don't mind discussing as long as you're respectful, and they will talk to you. But the male referees will tell you to go away. What's all that about? And I think that comes from the top.
I agree.
Yeah, no,
it's really.
It's funny. It's a chicken and egg situation. When I watch Premier League football, sometimes I think refs just say no, go away, because I mean, think of the abuse that they get over 90 minutes. So they're just like, I've made my decision, blah blah. So maybe there's a degree of I don't want to take this, but then on the other side, are they getting more abuse because there's a lack of communication from them? So what came first?
Does this look bad or?
I was going to touch on this. I mean,
Nelson's just gone down and he's looking really.
He looks uncomfortable. He looks uncomfortable,
and it looks like he's coming off, and he's shaking his head.
Reese,
might be a dead
Please don't tell me this is what I think.
Let's just hope it's precaution.
But
it looks like he's walking off the pitch.
He is. He laid down. He laid down with his head in his hands and was like, no.
And he's got his.
It looks like it's what's this muscle again?
Quads.
Yeah, it looks like this is quads.
Let's hope he's alright.
Come on, Reese. Oh man.
Yeah, Eddie goes.
Oh no.
He was playing well. He was playing really well. He was.
I can't lie, that's frustrating.
I wonder what it is.
Such a shame. He started off well.
A lot of people are asking how you can watch the game. I mean, obviously it's different for a lot of different people. If you're here in the UK, the Arsenal website. But again, I think you pay to watch it. The Juve website showing it as well. I don't think you can access that in the UK.
Let's see.
And so what? That's a hamstring.
It's
a hamstring. He just stops. There was no contact. Let's talk about this first 20 minutes, guys. And generally, how Arsenal have played. We've been all over them.
Superb. We should be about maybe 2-0 up, possibly.
No, well, this is the thing though about that, right? When you say that, for example, I agree. I'm like, this is incredible, amazing, but ultimately, how many shots on target? We had like 2 shots on target, which has been good, but I'm like, bro, with this front three, with not Saka, we're playing Nelson and Nketiah, bro, we need to be taking, one of these needs to convert into a goal. And that's what I think Jesus will bring, for example. You know what I mean? Or when we had Oba.
No, he will, but then I think with the proper front three, with the exceptions of unfortunately not Gabriel J, I think we score. I really do. Yeah. So it's still a work in progress. We're still trying to get ourselves ready for West Ham. So anything and everything we can learn from today will be vital for West Ham because we know we have to win that game.
It's not necessarily us how many goals we score.
Exactly.
Today. As much as I want us to score a lot of goals, I think it's more about the fitness,
absolutely,
the sharpness. Yes. And just preparing for for the West Ham game. It's more match preparation. Obviously, absolutely, making sure no one gets injured.
Absolutely,
dusting off those cobwebs.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I agree.
You know what I just want though? I just want like Nketiah, for example, to just start let's say he bags a couple goals. Like I got the confidence now to get into the next game 100%. To be like, I've just done it last week against Juve. I can do it again. Like when they get cold feet a little bit and they're like, a quick question as well. Would you take Balogun back off loan? If we don't, would you not?
No.
Following.
I wouldn't want to do that.
He's doing
Too
well,
early
but
on.
no, yeah.
I
Still
would love to, but I think what he's
early.
doing, you might as well leave him till the end of the season.
Yeah.
That's too obvious,
You know.
Shaka.
Was he at Nice? Is it?
He's at Nice.
He's doing well at Nice.
He's doing brilliant.
Is he with Pep? No.
Juve
Where's,
got a chance
where's he
now.
gone again? Pepe?
Nicholas has gone
Nice.
to Nice as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what he's doing.
Balogun's at.
Is it Lille?
Oh, Reims, that's it. Reims,
Yeah,
sorry,
yeah,
Reims,
that's it.
Reims, yeah.
Right, Juve
Yeah.
got a chance here.
He's doing brilliant.
Oh,
Well done,
good
Aaron.
shot. Fair play.
Ramsdale.
They
He's
worked
doing
that
really well.
nicely. It came from actually Arsenal getting a counter-attack wrong. It was lovely hold-up play from Nketiah. He just kind of held, as the ball was sort of fizzed into him, he just opened his foot, laid off to Xhaka. But there wasn't really a great run beyond that. Marquinhos sort of holding his run a little bit. And I think this is a big opportunity for Marquinhos as
It's a
well.
big opportunity.
Yeah.
You know, I want to see him be positive and run at plays. He's actually shown he can do that. He's got a bit of a burst of
done that.
pace. But I want to see him be quite direct, really have a go, take this opportunity because
Absolutely.
he's very young.
Yeah, Arteta
Very
didn't loan
very
him out
talented.
though. I thought he was going to get loaned out. But
Well, that
Arteta's
was-
clearly
that-
seen something and been like, you know what, this guy's serious.
Well, that is what we were gonna do, but because he done so well, we're thinking, no, we can use you.
He's just tried to take someone on there and he's lost, but he never really looked like beating him. Listen, his first touches of the game, he's going to just take a second to settle in and all that. I completely acknowledge that. But, you know, a bit like we were saying about Nelson earlier, this is an opportunity. Now, Nelson probably has less time than Marquinhos to prove a point.
Yeah,
you know,
definitely,
but,
definitely.
But at the same time, you know, take these opportunities because players like Saka and Martinelli were at 19
Yeah.
when it came round.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
let's see how he does. But also, I think for the last 25 minutes, you're spot on, Artan. We actually haven't had many great chances, but you can see we've been really close.
Yeah.
Always one good pass or one,
Away, yeah.
just one little thing going our way, and the goal's there. So
Yeah,
I can't fault the control we have on this game, though. I mean, we're all over them.
no,
Well, the control is good. I'm happy
no,
with
you
that.
can't.
Lee says 100% now. We need at least 2 signings, maybe even a third. May seem unrealistic, but if we want to win the league, this is what serious teams have to do when short. Has anyone else's transfer plans this January changed off the back of that Nelson injury?
Oh, well, let's see how long it is.
Ty, who in January?
Yeah.
Who are you like? This is a good transfer window. Who's your top picks?
That's a very good question.
Everyone
I think
said Modric.
Madrid would be good.
Yeah.
But we've already spoken about it, haven't we? I'm just wondering. I'm looking at strikers. I don't know if we're going to. I think we possibly should.
Because he's a winger, right? He's a
Yeah,
He's not already a striker, so
No, he's not.
No.
But he would add depth. But then we've got Marquinhos, haven't we?
yeah.
It depends how much Marquinhos is going to play. We've got Reece. I don't know. I think we need another striker, but I'm just wondering. I'm wondering who is available and who can we get in January.
I'd
It's gonna be very
like,
difficult.
yeah. Well, I'd like.
For
oh, go on.
Xhaka.
Yes.
Squeeze around.
1-0. Oh, that should be 1-0. That should be 1-0. But brilliant play again.
That should be.
What would you say in our time, sorry?
But yeah, like basically, obviously, we need for me anyway, and correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like we need a party replacement, like maybe a winger, a left winger,
Yes,
to
no,
compete,
you're
and a
right.
striker.
Yes.
And I feel the one thing that I could potentially have is if we were to get Modric, we could, like, let's say Jesus is still injured, we could potentially even put Martinelli up top because he has done it before,
Absolutely.
just here and there.
That's the reason.
But for me, I'd like a Tillman's. I'd like
forgot about Tillman.
you know what I mean? Like I know that's dragged out, but bro, his contract's up in Jan, so surely we'd be able to get him for like.
If it's up
15
in
mil.
January, then boy.
Sorry, up in July. Sorry.
Oh, well,
yeah,
Leicester,
yeah.
I don't know if Leicester let him go. That's what I mean. I would love to get Tielemans. I really would. Or
Calling from Ben
even
White.
Wilfred. Wilfred and Diddy.
Yeah.
I'd love to get him as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Ndidi,
You know a funny
Ndidi.
story about Ndidi?
Go on.
Imagine this. This is a completely true story. Yeah. I'm playing Xbox I'm playing Warzone. I swear to God, I can DM him right now to tell you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Playing Xbox randomly. Got these Nigerian guys on the just on the mic and whatnot chatting. Just ended up chatting for time. He's like, I'm like, oh yeah, I do music. He's like, oh, I play football. Bro,
No
it's Wilfred and Ndidi I'm playing
No
with.
way,
Now
really?
me and Ndidi play Warzone like every week together. I swear to God.
How did you find out it was him?
Because
The real him.
do you know what?
Not,
Do you know
not,
what?
not
Because one of his pals was going, I just checked out the music. He's like, it was really good. I shared it to my story.
Yeah.
And then Wilfred was being a bit quiet, and then he's gone, I shared it to my story and I was like, oh, okay, cool. Like, I'm thinking, it's just some, I don't know who they are, just some random guys. Like, and then I checked, like, after I've logged off, checked. I'm like, bro, this guy's verified on Insta. I was like, who's this brother? I'm like, what? Indeed? Like, no way.
That's amazing.
Yeah, big up Willie, by the way.
Exactly,
Come
big up
on.
Wilfred, that's a great story.
Yeah, so I'll try and drop a word in, you know what I'm saying? Because I rate him as well. I think
I'd have him as well. That's what I mean. I would. That's what I mean. I'm just wondering, unless they're going to let Tielemans go, or is he going to run down his contract? That's the question. Because I don't think Tielemans is going to sign a new contract.
I can't see him. No way.
So it depends when he's going to leave
this year.
Exactly. So when is he going to leave in January, or is he going to leave at the end of the season? That's the thing. But I would love to get to Tielemans. Yeah. But I think we need a replacement for Thomas.
They're just showing Locatelli there, player we were heavily linked with summer 21.
We were.
Thought maybe Xhaka might be off, but he was destined for Juve, I think. But yeah, isn't it so funny how you get these players that we're so heavily linked with for so long, and then it just sort of. Like Vlahovic is a similar one.
Yes.
And then it just goes quiet. And
it does go quiet.
You sort of think, not that he's not a good player, he's still a very good player. But
who's the guy from Lyon? I forgot. It comes every season.
Yes.
Every season, but I haven't really heard much from him, to be honest with you.
The rumours are, obviously, if you can believe them, the rumours are we were very close to get. From what I heard, which obviously that might mean something or might mean nothing, is that apparently Mikel wanted him, but the board apparently said we can't afford him. That's allegedly. Now I don't know. That's the rumours. We were very close to him, but it's interesting, James. You're saying that about the players. Also, apparently, Allegri actually had an interview for our manager's job, and allegedly, I always have to say allegedly. Our board apparently found him too arrogant.
What was that?
Allegri was interviewed before we appointed Unai, and apparently, like I said, you always have to say allegedly, the board found him too arrogant. That's the rumours.
Okay.
That's the rumours.
I'll be right. I'm happy.
Obviously, we're happy with Mikel now.
Yeah. At the time, I would have been like Allegri.
I wanted Allegri at the time.
Yeah.
But it shows now Unai's a good manager. It's a shame he didn't get more time.
Yeah.
I would have personally given him more time.
Who, Unai Emery?
Unai, yeah.
Do you know what I think the fail of Unai was I think he's a great tactician and everything, but I just feel he just might not have been able to win the dressing room in terms of like communication in general, just getting the vibe. And I think maybe that might have been his one thing. I just feel like the team chemistry around when it was with Unai was just a little bit off. And I think sometimes it's not even just the football, it's like the way that, I'm not saying he's a bad person, absolutely not. I don't know the guy is, but like it just can be like the relationship that you build at the time that you've come in. You know what I mean? Go on.
It's over. We've been doing that a lot. We've been winning the ball really high up the pitch, and putting pressure on Juve. The press is superb.
It's a free kick.
But we're not creating anywhere near enough.
It's the final quality.
That's what exactly. That's the thing. It's that final bit.
Final quality.
I do hear that Artan, but I also think he was very disrespected. I won't say when they kept on saying that good. I'm not even going to say. I thought he was very disrespected because it seemed like when we were doing well, the communication was fine. As soon as we weren't doing well, he can't speak English. I thought he was
there's definitely a bit of that.
By the media. Because people started, and I'm not going to say good, you know what? Well, people kept on saying, and I thought that was terrible because you never heard that when we were doing well. Certainly when we weren't doing well, I thought the way, because he's not English, the way he was treated after that was terrible.
But what I would say is though, sorry, just on a quick, it's just basically the time that it was.
Oh, it is.
The time that it was in just after Wenger left. Everything was going tits up. You know what I mean? So it was
like
going
to be difficult.
Yeah.
It's a free kick here. Odegaard scored from an almost identical range against Lyon. We went up and over the wall. But it really, there was a lot of dip. It landed quite low in the goal, that Lyon goal. I wonder whether he's going to take
a very good position.
He's going to score.
Odegaard all over.
He's scoring.
Or does he just want to roll that to Xhaka?
No.
I wouldn't. I'd take it.
Xhaka looks like he's going to bloody take it.
Go on.
Odegaard.
Right into the wall.
We know we can take them.
Tierney.
Oh, is he offside?
Offside.
Is he?
I think he's offside.
Are you serious?
That was a good turn.
Is there VAR in this?
What?
That was a good turn, yeah.
That was absolute class from Eddie.
No,
that was sharp. Let's have a look at that.
They better be sure. But then
it's a friendly, so I don't think they'll have VAR.
for years like
For
this.
friendly, I don't think they'll have VAR.
Hold on.
So,
the second phase. Yeah.
I mean, I'd like to see the whole pitch.
Yeah, say.
But if it's come with a defender, he can't be
Yeah,
offside.
yeah, surely.
That's the goal. If it comes with a defender, you can't be offside.
What is going on? The game has come to life. I'm all over them. And now Juve are coming on the counter. Here's Moise Ken.
We should be at least 1-0 up.
What has happened there?
If it comes with a defender,
It's
it's a
a
goal.
ball in. Oh,
It's a goal.
That's well dealt with, Tierney.
If it comes with a defender, it's a goal.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what I feel. It's a goal then. It's a goal.
They need to show the replay.
No, it's a goal. If it's come with a defender, it's a goal.
So what happened
Did he
here?
pass
They
it
tried
up?
to play it from the back.
I mean, they are rubbish at playing out.
No, you've got to score that though. You actually have to score
This
that.
is
We're making the chances. That's the main thing.
it is, but this is my thing about Eddie is that
Listen, let's make sure
I'm
you
with
do
you.
it. Guess
I'm
what?
with
Let's do
you.
it.
in order
But he
to score
scored the
one,
one he was offside brilliantly.
And that shouldn't have been a goal.
in order for him to score, it's like he needs 5 chances to score 1 goal.
Yeah,
Do you know what I
yeah.
mean? Like,
And then let's say you've got Haaland, one, you get
rule-
one
yeah, he
chance,
gets
one
one shot,
goal.
yeah.
And I'm like, certain ones with Ventura, I'm like, oh, it's bad luck. But I'm like, bro, if you're going to be a top striker,
Yeah.
you need to somehow get that good luck. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how,
Yeah.
but I'm not a footballer, but
you gotta be ruthless.
yeah.
Guys, we're playing so well. I mean, the football is so crisp.
No, it is.
Yeah, we're not creating loads and loads of
Well played.
chances, but the
Well
last
done.
couple minutes,
Beautiful.
we've been
Partey.
really sort of making them feel uncomfortable. I think the last 5 has been more like the first 10 were, where we did start
Yeah.
really quickly.
Tierney.
And now we're sort of, starting to just flex our muscles a little bit. I think Nketiah can count himself really unlucky with
He
that
can.
first
He's had
one.
about
I don't
3
know
or 4
quite the
chances.
offside.
Well, the rule is, James, as far as
They have an
I know,
abide.
we know that if it comes off a defender, you can't be offside.
But I think that was the defender blocking it from the shot, so I think it's still...
It's different then. Is it different than if
I think if the defender took a touch and passed it, then he'd be onside.
Okay.
But I think because it was a shot from an Arsenal player and then he's blocked it, I think it's different.
Okay, fair enough.
I
fair
think because it's still part of them. He was offside when Arsenal had the shot. I don't know.
Short, the ball.
But I thought he did really well. Just
did really well.
the cut
He did.
inside on his left foot.
did
No, he
really
did.
But he should have scored that.
I
other
think with the one with hitting the post, he's been too precise, hasn't he?
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Tierney
Here
driving.
comes Tierney. That's
And
a nice
ball.
one. But I think
Go on, have a
Tierney's
shot.
playing brilliantly in this
Very well.
inverted
Tierney,
role.
honestly,
The
yeah,
last-
I completely agree. Tierney, honestly, I love Tierney so much. He's a proper workhorse, man.
Very well.
Come on, Vieira, a little bit more on the cross there. And Rob Holland's been spun by Moise Ken.
Gabriel's got pace.
I will just say,
Well done.
that's
Get
a good
up.
tackle. That's
Get up.
brilliant.
Well
from
done.
Gabriel.
Yeah, well done.
I will say, I don't need to get into Rob Holding here. I don't, but
Yeah.
it is such a weak point for him when he gets tight to defenders.
Yeah.
Son basically got him
I was
sent
just
off.
about
because of
to say that exactly.
Basically got sent off because he couldn't deal with the touch tight, role that he had to play against Son.
And also Son cheated as well.
Do you remember the Brighton game?
He did.
Do you remember the Brighton game? We lost 3-1 just before the break. He
Yeah.
gets spun on one of the goals before it happens, and it happens
Yeah.
to him. I think earlier in pre-season against Lyon. Who was it? Was it Origi? Yeah, for AC Milan, who just spun him and shot. It happens all the time. Oh, that's unlucky, Vieira.
That is unlucky. Brilliant.
Just couldn't get around him.
Yeah.
But the thing is, that's why he needs protection then, doesn't he?
Yeah.
No, but I think it's beyond us. Like, well, let's protect Holding. Now he's got to get to the level of the team
He's
because
got- yeah.
Saliba wouldn't lose that duel like that.
No, he wouldn't. But then
Nor would White at centre back.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah,
But
it's true. Yeah.
that's true. But then
Those are fine margins that make great. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The great players and.
that's true. But then is that possibly because he's not playing enough?
Nah, I think he's hit his ceiling. I think.
Yeah. I
You think so?
agree.
Because we say that we can go back a long time, back into time to about
Go on, Tierney.
2007 when we beat Chelsea in
Great ball.
the FA Cup final, and he had Costa in his pocket. He didn't get spun then, did he?
It's Diego Costa, man. Like,
Yeah, but even still, Diego Costa's very tricky.
coming at the end of his
I
career.
see what you
Diego
mean.
Costa.
You know, but he's
That's like looking at Mertesacker in that game in the fight where
He's
he had
brilliant,
the
no, he's
game of his
brilliant,
life. Bruv, like,
He had
Yeah.
the game of his
He had the
game of his life.
and
Do you know
he's
what I
getting
mean?
criticised. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's like, for me, I love Holding. I think
Yeah.
he's in the squad not for his football ability, his footballing ability, but I think it's because of his attitude.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
very
everything
good
is
in-
an
very good
all-round.
in-
Yeah.
basketball,
Do
know
you know what I mean?
Very good in the dressing room.
But in terms of me looking at him as a defender and as a footballer, I feel like he's reached his highest
Yeah,
level,
yeah.
and he has to go to a club like he has to do what what's my man done? He went to West Ham. I forgot his name is in terms of the defender.
Well done, Rob.
Defender.
Well done.
Oh, the one they used to play at West Brom.
Yeah.
Craig something, is it?
Yeah, so he just needs to be at a lower, like no disrespect to your West Hams or whatever, or West Brom, but he needs to be at a team like that, and he will stand out.
I agree.
I think Holding is he's a low block defender. I think he could play in a team that largely are happy not to have the ball and look really good. Doesn't like it from Vieira, does. And now it's getting a bit scrappy in midfield.
It is.
Football, but then
the work rate you can't fault. Look at Eddie.
Look at
that work rate.
But this is what we want. We want that. We want that because these are the questions we might have to answer against West Ham. So we want this, don't we?
Yeah.
We do want this. Well, that's fair enough.
Eco says Eddie's looking sharp, and I agree. I think he is. I think he's looking incredibly buzzy, involved. I think his touch has been there. I think he could be happy with his performance.
Yeah.
Just the shame he didn't score that big chance, but you know.
Well done. That's better.
Nice.
That's better from Holding.
That is really good for Holding.
There we go.
He heard me.
Do you know what I'd like to see though? A little bit more is a few more shots from outside the box from people.
Yeah.
That's what I'd like. Not necessarily from this game, but I just mean like a few more. Like, see if Partey could be consistent with some shots outside the box that are actually on target.
He scored 2 screamers, hasn't he?
Yeah. And like Xhaka, like take some shot. I know he's getting more forward now, which is great. But like I do think like that's why I want like originally I was like Ruben Neves because he adds goals. You know what I mean? Like if we could add, even if it's 3-5 goals a season from the midfield, like Odegaard, if he started shooting from outside the box more, I feel that would make a big difference to our game when for example if it's not Eddie's night, it's like don't worry, like because we still got some firepower in the midfield that are going to take some risks.
Yeah, I think Fabio's on that.
Yeah, Fabio is, you're right.
It's interesting that you say about Ruben Neves. The funny thing is, with him now, you know, playing, I don't know how, let me play conspiracy theory. Has he maybe talked himself out of a move for us when he was saying that rubbish? Ruben Neves. When he come up with that rubbish about us not celebrating.
Yeah, maybe.
You know,
I think Arteta see with the Ivan Toney stuff. Yeah, he takes that very personally.
Well, absolutely.
Don't slag us off.
Well, absolutely. Well, I do as a fan as well. I take that personally because when you're going to have a go at us, you better make sure you're entitled to have a go at us. You know, and I don't think nobody is. But if it's Messi or Ronaldo or Neymar Jr. or Mbappe, I still wouldn't like it. But I say, I still wouldn't like it, but I say, okay, you're a bad man in football terms. But when you're Ivan Toney and you're Ruben Neves, you better keep quiet because what have you done?
Bloody good players.
Not fantastic players, but not that fantastic enough to have a go at us. If Messi is not having a go at us, then who are you?
I get what you're saying. Like,
you know what I mean? Exactly. He doesn't have a go at us.
I'm sure Messi would say something.
Would you take Ronaldo on a 6-month loan? Till the end of the season?
Pay as you play. Yes.
I wouldn't.
You would
pay as you play. Pay as you play. So that means if you pay, obviously, you know what I mean? Pay as you play. Because that way then you don't play. Yeah, I would. And also if he wouldn't upset the dressing room as well.
Well, you think he wouldn't?
That's like.
Or you're saying if
I'd sign Thierry Henry if he was still 25.
But Thierry. But Thierry.
Ronaldo wants to play, and
sorry, James. Sorry, you're basically saying yes. I'm sorry, James is saying yes. No, I would because
I wouldn't have him.
Oh, you wouldn't because
I wouldn't.
I don't think you can lose as long as he's not disrupting the team. I don't think you can lose.
Here's Marquinhos. You know. That's good. That's really nice. That's great. Running at players.
You made the wrong
running.
But Ronaldo being who he is, he probably wouldn't take that.
Dave Jordan says Ty is a bad man in football fan terms.
The way he said a bad man.
That's good, Marquinhos.
Thank you. I agree with you. I'm a bad man at being lucky, but thank you very much. I'll take that.
No, I good. You know what? It was a good question you just asked, Artan. And at first I was like, no, I wouldn't take Ronaldo, but. When I actually look back at him, if I look at him as the type of player, he's the type of player that you would need to go on and win a title. You need that experience. You need that winning mentality.
30 minutes of a game, you need to score one goal.
You need like a Zlatan Ibrahimovic to come in and be like, right, guys, this is the point where we really step up, and he galvanizes the squad. And he did speak highly of Arsenal, wasn't it, in his interview?
But was that just to troll Manchester United? We don't really know. Because I've never heard him rating us before. That's the first time I've ever heard him rating us. So I don't know.
It's true. I've never heard.
Do you know what I mean?
He did a Piers Morgan interview years ago, and when he brought out the Arsenal turn, he was like, ha ha ha.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know.
Now it's like,
I don't know if
is he teasing it though?
Exactly. Because I don't know if I really believe that. Even Ibrahimovic, is extremely arrogant. But even if I would like if he had a go, but at least he's done something.
Yeah.
Who needs players to be having a go? And you've done nothing. Why are you
But
talking?
I would take Ivan Toney.
I would as well. Like I said, as long as,
wait, so you're saying you would take
no, of course, as long as when he gets to
Yeah.
Emirates, he gets on his knees and apologises. Of course, we say.
No, he's not going to get on his knees, but you know he'll fight for you.
Not get on his knees. I'm just.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I'm just saying, but I would expect at least an acceptance of he made a mistake. At least.
I think he knows that. I think he's just.
He was very complimentary of us recently.
Yeah.
But James, you have to be, because when you're chatting now and then the next time you're in people's pocket, if you're not complimentary, you're staying in that pocket, aren't you? So of course it's going to be complimentary because he got second in football terms, isn't it?
I actually think there's room in football for more kind of spice and need.
I agree.
But at the same time,
James, there is.
Yeah,
There
but I
is,
get what
James.
you're saying, which
There
is,
is, James.
however, if you're hoping to play for Arsenal, and I'm not saying anyone is, or whoever is, or Neves, or Tony, or whatever, whatever. Then you're only going to run the risk of that being something that a fan or a manager kind of then thinks, you know what, I'm not
keen on this player.
But I think there is. I like the sort of.
It's fine.
I like that Tony said, the kickabout thing, even though it pissed me off. But then I like that Gabriel's responded, and I like those kind of things. Aubameyang, right? He got it from Arsenal fans at Stamford
He did, which is a shame.
Yeah.
A shame.
So, okay, so
It's a shame because
it's a shame.
It's a shame.
I think
it's a shame because I personally think I don't agree with his choice. I don't agree with what he said.
Yeah.
But I can't forget the goals he scored, and if he'd acted in the right way, he should be part of this team because he was part of this team when we were building to where we're hopefully going to get to.
They're on the attack here,
so
Juve.
disappointed. I'm so disappointed.
Ooh, good block from Tierney. Tierney's a great one.
From Juventus.
Well, so I want to be careful how I say this, right? Because obviously there's certain language that you hear at football all the time.
Yeah, which is obviously unacceptable.
Yeah. There's a I never condone abuse in any sense.
No, absolutely.
But I do want there to be a rivalry. Hold on, you played for Arsenal, now you play for Chelsea. We're going to make this. It's an own goal in Juve with an unbelievably
Against the run of play.
undeserved lead.
Can I just
but
say?
It's 1-0 Juve.
Can I just say, yeah?
Who did that come off?
This is why, though, I'm annoyed at, for example, not at Nketiah, but this is the difference. This is the difference between, and this is why I want to see Eddie score. Yeah, it's nice, all these through balls, Reece Nelson having some shots, but this is what they've only had 2 shots, and one of them's got. I know this.
They've had one.
One shot. Yeah.
This was a cross.
Look,
it's an own goal from Xhaka.
It's an own goal, but King could have got that in.
Yeah, no, there were players in the back
now we're
post,
1-0 down, and now we could lose the game.
Well, let's hope.
But it's not about.
No, but I'm not saying I'm not being negative here, but
okay,
cool. So now we got to step it up to even do better than we did in the first 10 or whatever to just put it in the back of the net. I'm now wanting to see.
That's half time.
Juventus don't deserve anything.
No,
they should be 2-0 down.
I'm gonna pull the team off the pitch half time because I actually think that's been a really good half in terms of the sharpness, the intensity, all those things are there. We know we're lacking. Not even our first choice front three, maybe our first choice front four. Because when Saka got injured against Forest, it was Nelson who came on. Nelson, Saka, Martinez, Jesus, all missing. Xhaka only just back. I think he's actually looked good and sharp. And I think there's been a lot of our performances we can enjoy. Eddie's unfortunately hitting the post. Then he's offside on one, but it was a lovely finish. We've had a few other moments. Okay, we're losing 1-0 at half time. It's disappointing, but I don't think there's anything to stress about or whatever.
No, you're right.
I think we can play 9 games out of 10 with that kind of performance and win them. But if maybe it will only be telling the story more to Arteta and Edu and all that about, listen, we need some killer depth.
Yeah,
we do. But I personally think if that's against West Ham, we're 2-0 up. I really don't see us creating those chances and not scoring.
With this team?
No, because it wouldn't be that team. If it's the first team, apart from Gabriel J, I think they're 2-0 up. Because I don't see them missing. I don't see Bukayo and Gabriel J. I don't see them missing.
Should we?
It's things to think about.
Should we go through the match stats?
Yeah.
I mean, this is just so typical.
How much percentage?
11 shots, 2 on target for Arsenal.
Yeah.
2 shots for Juve, 1 on target.
Well, it wasn't, was it? Because it was one up from our player.
It was kind of on target though.
There was
they had the shot that went to around.
Sorry. We've had 75% of the ball, people.
That don't surprise me.
400 passes to their 141. 91% pass accuracy to their 70%.
Yeah.
We've committed 5 fouls, we've been offside once, we've had 3 corners to their 1, and we're 1-0 down. I mean, listen, that's football, isn't it? That's why I'll always, while I'm not enjoying this, that's why I'll always argue that football is one of, if not the best sport in the world, because sometimes you don't have to do anything and you can be winning, and every team can have a chance. That's why we saw so many upsets at the World Cup as well.
Yeah,
you know, teams show their quality and they can do things. But listen, Juve didn't have to show a lot of quality. They put the ball into a dangerous area and we didn't deal with it, and we're 1-0 down. Let's see what they do in the second half. Let's try and remind ourselves of the subs. But Kwarme, while I get the subs up,
Yes, mate.
Just give us your thoughts on that half generally.
I'm not disappointed. It's not 1-0 down because we play poorly. It's just unfortunate that Juve they've been a bit threatening in terms of their counter attacking, but I think it's a lesson learned for the younger players as well, in terms of you can have control of the game, the majority of the game, but you can't afford to switch off. Yes, an own goal, everything like that, but we have to, you know, like Artan was saying, we've got to finish our chances.
Absolutely.
You have to, because that changes the whole momentum of the game. So I'm sure Arteta will be reassuring them that, look, I'm not upset with your performance. However, I need a little bit more, and we need to be a bit more ruthless and clinical up top. So I'm not worried. I don't feel like this is it. We're going to lose. We're going to go off and lose 3-0. I feel there's going to be goals. We'll see a different side of us, but you know, it's a lesson learned for us.
Let's have a look at the bench, see who can make a difference. I mean, you know, we know Nwaneri's had his minutes. Marquinhos has come on as well. Can't say I'm an expert on Butler or Adeji or Kozia Dubry.
Good striker. Mario, very good.
Okay.
Winger.
Maybe. I'd love to see us one day maybe kind of see Tierney in the left midfield role one day or something, just to mix things up. He's good at running at players. Artan, this is your AFTV debut. That's your first half of football. We are 1-0 down, but largely, how have you found it?
You know, it's been great, obviously, with you guys here.
Thank you. It's been great.
The actual performance, again, actually been really good. But again, it really is just them fine margins in football. You know, like between one which just getting a goal that would have changed the course of the whole game. Just having one goal, and I think. Like the young, we got a young starting lineup. You know, we've got Marquinhos on the pitch. We've got you know, Eddie, Reece. So like, you can't say too much, but I would just say, like, this is for me the difference between the final Premier League. The last standings could be the matter of 2 points. That could be one goal. So if we can just start like picking our chances a little bit better and just getting those extra goals, then I think that'll make a massive difference. Because man, the league's so tight. It could just be one game that is a 0-0er, and it's like, yo, we desperately need a goal, and that's where we need Eddie to step up and just from hitting the bar to being in you know what I mean, being actually in the goal. That could be the difference between the Premier League title.
Dave says we mustn't forget that it's been freezing.
It's comedian. Don't worry. I won't be coming to your show. I won't be coming to your show. Even if you give me free tickets, I won't be coming to your show. Oh, you're not a comedian, are you? I'm sorry. Funny.
Jokes. Let me address this super chat from Samuel. He says, with Nketiah, we're in trouble. Look, Samuel, what in that half makes you think Nketiah was the problem?
Exactly.
He hit the post.
Exactly.
I think you've put it perfectly, Artan, which is you want someone who you can really rely on to put it in the back of the net with those. They score 2 out of the 3 chances they get, you know, or in that tight game where we're lacking a little bit of quality, you know that it's fine, they need 1 chance, they're going to score. I get that. But to say we're in trouble with Eddie, it's like, the football's still been excellent. He's played his part massively. He's done well in the other 2 mid-season games. It's just like, I see it in the comments. People are getting on Eddie. I've seen fans of other clubs come in to defend him. Why is everyone... I actually don't get the Nketiah hate. Now, if someone wants to say, look, I just think if we're going to compete for the title, I don't think Eddie being relied upon for a third of the games this season is good enough. That's a perfectly reasonable discussion to have. But we're in trouble. He's trash. He's this. Come on.
You can't say that's just
He's not trash.
He's not trash. And the funny thing is, you know, the funniest thing is for me is that when there was rumours he was leaving. Why is he leaving? Oh, he's a disgrace. Do you see what's the poor man? man, I say point forward, he can't win. Imagine, why is Eddie leaving? Who's Eddie to leave? And then when he says, the man can't win, but they mustn't forget it's a friend, and also they're forgetting there's Bukayo and Gabriel.
Me missing, yeah.
And they are going to supply. He's going to get serious supply. Well, I think Eddie will score goals.
Yeah.
And it's the first half of a friendly. He's hit the post. Should have scored. You know, what do you want him to exactly? I don't, James. Artan, Kwarme. I don't know what do you want him to do. Do you want to score him a hat? Do you want? If I can get my words out, do you want him to score a hat trick in 3 minutes? Yes. Would you be happy with that?
Yes.
I think they want him to bury that chance he got when they tried to play out the back. We won it back, and I hear that.
If he buries against West Ham, if he buries against West Ham and we win, who's going to be complaining?
Well, no, of course. But my thing is that
exactly.
That is the hardest job in football, is to put it in the back of the net. And he's come close. Okay, he actually did, but he was offside. Okay, unlucky.
Yeah. That was unlucky.
But he showed really great skill to cut inside and do what he did. Okay, unfortunate. But you look at that performance, right? It's not like Arsenal can't get control of the game because it's not sticking up front. Then you'd be like, we're lacking someone to put it together. Yeah. That's not the case. In fact, RB Comp says, "What's up, guys? I'm a Juve fan. You've been all over us. Big up AFTV."
You're right. We have. You should be 2-0 down. You're right. Yeah.
Nasongo says, "Sorry, James, but if we are going to win the league, he needs to be ruthless in front of goal." No, I slightly disagree with that. I don't think he has to be totally ruthless. I think he needs to contribute with goals. I think he ultimately needs to make sure that everything that Jesus was doing in the team is kept ticking. Exactly. Jesus didn't score for 9-10 games.
Yeah, but that's Jesus.
And we've opened a 5-point gap.
But let's be honest, if that was Jesus playing right now, you'd be like, great game, Jesus. Hopefully he gets a goal in the second half.
But then we would be 3-0 up as well, because the other players would have finished.
But look at the assists and off the ball work that Gabriel J does.
And that's what I mean. Like, that's where Nketiah's got big shoes to fill. If you're going to try and say that you want the same output that Gabriel Jesus has been giving us. And the thing is, when I speak to other Arsenal fans, our biggest frustration is, before Eddie got his new contract, or before he was 50-50 in terms of whether we were going to keep him on or he's going to go away. Yeah. He was scoring. He was putting the ball in the back of the net. He had probably one of the best end of runs in the season. To obviously to confirm him getting signed. But since then, have I seen that? Can I feel like he's given that same output when needed?
Has he played enough though? But Kwarme, has he played enough?
I feel like he has played enough.
I don't think he has.
I feel he has.
Gabriel J's been playing every week. Eddie's coming for the Carabao Cup and the Europa League.
This is what
I think in terms of appearances, maybe. But in terms of minutes, no.
But then this is where I do look at him and I compare him to Saka and Smith Rowe. When they're given the opportunity, they seize it. Absolutely, and you don't ask any more questions after that. But I feel like with Nketiah, you're still left with that whole, he was good, but he got saved, or he hit the post, or I don't want that. I want him to really and it's what they're using, what you guys are saying online. Ruthless.
I think the trade-off with Eddie is, I don't think he's going to contribute to all phases of playing the way Jesus does. I still think he'll work incredibly hard. I think he'll drop deep. I think he'll link up well. I think he'll run in beyond. I think he'll still do a lot of those things, just not as well as Jesus. But I think the trade-off is, he's probably going to get more goals, which is weird to say. But
you reckon?
How many games? How many of the 14 Premier League games did Jesus start? It was all 14, right?
Must be, yeah.
And he scored 5 goals.
5, sorry, 9.
5 in the league.
How many assists? How many assists though?
The assists. He scored about maybe it could be 8, 9, 10 assists.
If Eddie played the next 14. It wouldn't surprise me if he got the same 5, maybe 6 or 7. It wouldn't surprise me. He scored 5 at the end of last season.
And Artan, James, and Kwarme, that's just it. Now you made a great point about Bukayo and who else? Emil, but they have the confidence that they know they're going to start. When you know you're not starting, it's very, very difficult.
So I've got to prove a mad job, like
exactly. Bukayo knows he's going to start. Gabriel J knows he's going to start when you know you're going to start every week. It's massive for your confidence, but if Eddie knows he's not going to be starting unless Gabriel J's not there. So it's more harder. Because if you know you're starting every week now, you're confident that you know you're going to play. So if you miss a chance,
his chance now, isn't it? Now is his chance.
This is it.
And this is what I mean.
This is what I'm saying.
But let's give him time. Because to me, you know what I would say, and even if we go on to Windows or score, I'm not judging him now. I'm judging him against West Ham because that's when it matters. So I don't think you can judge him now. If you know what I mean? Personally.
We got a super chat from Peter. I think it's a sarcastic one. He says, it's a quote from Arsenal fans.
Yeah.
Xhaka just cost us the league, should never play for the club again.
But everybody, listen.
I remember those times.
But everybody can be wrong. Just like Manchester United and Tottenham fans.
Saksham isn't being particularly nice about me and you, Ty, saying
What's
that we're
that?
defending championship strikers. Look, Saksham.
Really? Hold on. Championship strikers who play for a team that's the top of the Premier League. So are you hearing what you're saying?
Saksham, let me just tell you something. There was a time. What did you say? What did you say? So I was getting too.
I said that championship strikers who are playing for a team that's top of the Premier League.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know.
You can't chat. Yeah, you can't.
You know, sometimes. Listen, I'm like everyone. We can speak a lot of rubbish, but I think sometimes when people are speaking, they should actually listen to what they're saying.
No, but also people love to just pick what they want to hear from a sentence.
Absolutely.
No one. We literally just sat here saying he's probably not the guy to rely on to win the league, and that he's not on the level of Jesus. And people want to take that as we're saying he's brilliant and that he's all this and all that. We're not saying that. There was a time not that long ago, really not that long ago, probably this calendar year, where people were saying, get Granit Xhaka out of this club.
Exactly.
We're never going to do anything. We're not going to get top four. We'll never change the league.
That was
He's not a midfielder that can get
Exactly.
anywhere near the level that we want him to be. And kind of elevate this team to the level we want.
Exactly.
And look how he's been playing.
Yeah.
Not just as one of a group of 11 that are top of the league and playing brilliantly. He's been a core part. He's been my player of the season so far. The way he's linked everything together, the runs into the box, the goals.
Do you think though? Sorry to cut you off, but do you think that's suddenly a mindset switch, or do you reckon that's also because now he's playing a lot more forward? He was being this left back, basically, almost like he was like a CDM. He was also playing left back. Who, let's be honest, that's why he was getting the red cards and that, because he's the last man now that everyone runs at. So he has to make and that's not his thing. So do you think that Xhaka's kind of like revival has come from a tactical change, and he's always had it in him, or like what I mean?
I'm going to save my answer because there's actually, if you guys follow AFTV a lot, there's an In Focus series. We've done ones on Ben White, William Saliba, and Gabriel Jesus. The next two, I'm sort of spoiling it because I'd like to leave it a secret who's coming. But we've got one on Zinchenko coming out very soon. I think tomorrow, early next week, and one on Granit Xhaka. And I very much went into some of the numbers.
That's a good plug for that show. That's a very good plug for that show.
Thank you very much, Kai. I've been working on this for a few years. I kind of explored that. I looked at his numbers last season to this season. I talked about all the factors that might have changed, and the title of the video is literally, was Granit Xhaka always this good? And I think that's what
that's a good
is a very interesting.
That's a very good question.
That's brilliant. So look out for that, guys. But I'll let you guys take Kwarme. What would you think of that? What Artan said there about Xhaka?
Yeah, I think it all kind of stems from Arteta. I feel obviously I'm not saying that Xhaka wasn't the one who's obviously playing on the pitch and putting in the performances, but I think it starts from a manager coming in and looking at the whole dynamics of it and actually convincing him to stay at the club and convincing him that he will play an integral part within the squad. Yeah. And once you get that confidence from your manager, you will do anything, like once you've got the backing from the manager to say, look, I want you in this squad, I feel like you can bring so much to it, and I'm going to play you in a certain role a bit forward, and I'm going to improve you as a player. I think Arteta's very smart because he looked at Xhaka and he looked at his characteristics and his personality, and he maybe said, you know what, you're the type of athlete that wants to be challenged, so I'm going to give you a challenge. And I feel like he's kind of stepped up to that, and that's why we're seeing the best of him. But there's other aspects to it as well.
They're coming out for the second half now. No change as far as I can see. Super chat from Matt Cram says, unpopular opinion, but Eddie is going to be one of the top 3 scorers in the Premier League over this next 2 months.
I hope
so.
True. I hope that's true.
Yeah,
that wouldn't surprise me.
And also, I've got to say, when we're saying this thing, I think you're right, James. If Jay's not there, I think if this is what we got, we have to rely on him. So we have to believe he can succeed.
This is a good comment from C15 Rise. Says, when it's Eddie, he has to score, but when it's Jesus, you rely on your wingers. Yet people talk about Jesus pressing, but Eddie presses more per game, and those lead to more goals per game as well. I mean,
Well, that's interesting.
I don't know about whether he presses more,
Exactly.
but he definitely presses a lot.
Yeah.
He runs about like a madman. He does.
It's a fair point. I mean, listen. Again, this isn't. We should get onto Jesus more about the goals. We absolutely shouldn't. He's been immense for us.
Unbelievable.
Can't think of a bad game he's had.
No,
but with Eddie, you know, if he's contributing, you know, as much or nearly as much around the rest of the pitch, then we've got to be fair.
There's when you're talking about pressing, there's, you know, and obviously we're talking about the high press and everything like that. There's a difference in terms of you just running around. And I'm not disrespecting Eddie.
I know what you're going to say, and I agree.
It's like Eddie will look, and this is what I mean. When you're looking at when certain people are watching football, they'll watch it and be like, "Oh, there's a player that's running around. Oh, wow, he's putting in a lot of effort or whatever." But with Gabriel Jesus, if you look at the way he presses
he's
players,
like covering,
right,
like fully.
He's very smart.
Yeah.
the way he presses. Yeah, he is.
Oh yeah, he's very smart. And Eddie's kind of like, he's got that energy where he will just run and he will run, but it doesn't seem to see if he'll slip out a mistake. But with Gabriel Jesus, he will actually get the defender to make a mistake or whatever based on the angle.
He said he's the best pressing striker in the world.
Yeah.
And like that's not that's a massive compliment. That's a massive compliment, and especially in modern day football. So in order to live up to that, that's not saying Eddie's bad at it. That's just saying
it's just made Gabriel J's that good.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I think Eddie presses as well as probably any of the top five. I mean, I don't know who are the best pressers in terms of strikers in football. I mean, I think Eddie.
That leads to us having chances and scoring.
Well, so the dude XDD says Jesus does make more chances. To be fair, maybe that's.
Yeah, but he's played. But to be fair, he's played more, isn't he?
He's a more natural creator.
He has played more, but I would say that.
But obviously,
Jesus though he dribbles past players on a random. Like he can. You know what I mean? He's got that Brazilian sauce that just randomly take on a player.
He does, and also he's a winner as well. He's come from Man City. So he knows what it's like to win, doesn't he? And that's very, very important when you know how to win.
So predict what's now after this first half. We're 1-0 down. Just started the second one. What's your new score predictions now?
2-1.
Mine was 2-0. Yeah. I'll go. Yeah, all right. I'll go for 3-1. I'll go for 3-1.
I'm going to reduce my score from 4-0 to...
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to humble it real quick.
Yeah, I'm going to be humbled now. 2-1 Arsenal.
Okay. 2-1 Arsenal.
Okay.
All right, cool.
What have we got here? We got...
what are you going for then, Artan?
I'm right now I'm saying 1-1.
Oh, really?
Yeah, right now I need to see this pace pick up a little bit.
Doob says, need to really stop being sentimental here, guys. Eddie is not Arsenal material, and this isn't about him not scoring. Jesus runs at defenders and at least creating chances for others. Love from Niger. I mean,
if this is what we have, you don't knock what you have, do you? Until you get better. Don't do you? So if this is what you got, you don't slag them off or criticise them. You get them on side, don't you?
I agree, but you got to be really. You have to be honest. You got to be honest as well.
But that's fine.
There's no point slagging people off. I agree.
Exactly. But if you're going to do that, what you then do is you get someone better in, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, what a ball! Come on, boys.
1-1.
Go on.
Finish.
Exactly. It was on his right foot though.
Yeah.
I hear you, but
still
he scored a few of this right this season.
Still making chances. James, you were saying about we didn't finish the thing about Pierre. Because you said you like some spice. You were saying that.
No, I did. I can't. You might have been out of the room, but no, I did. I did say that. I just think if it's done, I think there's room for a little bit of.
No, there is.
You played for Arsenal. Now you play for Chelsea, so we're going to give it to you. I think that's fine as long as it's.
Well, that's the thing, James. As long as it's respectful.
Well, I mean,
it's got to be respectful.
as in. It's very hard to.
It's never respectful. When
it's very hard to make a player feel incredibly.
I'm not saying that. I'm not even saying about Pierre. I'm not saying about the fan. I'm saying about players talking because we're just fans. I'm talking about players.
I think it gives a different edge. I think I like it.
I like as long as it's respectful.
But
if you're then, sorry, James. If you're then there, and I'm not saying people are. If you're then there slagging off the player and slagging off his family, then that's ridiculous. That's way over the top.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
You see what I mean? That's what I'm saying about the line
with
and
every
the
individual case.
Okay. And you're talking about what Oba said.
Yeah, it's wrong, but he knows that it's wrong. He knows that it's wrong. I didn't really slag him off. But a lot of people were at Stamford Bridge. I didn't really slag him off.
When Oba said the you know, it's not personal stuff for that.
I think he was made to say that.
He was made to say it.
No, he was
He's
asked to
still-
say it, and he didn't have to, but he said it.
But this is what I'm saying, he still
a lot
could
of
have been
people-
more.
I didn't think it was that bad. You know,
a lot of people were
I
worried
actually
about
would
it.
have been more annoyed as a Chelsea fan than as an Arsenal fan, because as a Chelsea fan, I'd have thought. And this is what Matisse said actually on DR when we were talking tactics.
Big up Matisse.
He said, hold on.
Yeah.
It's already going to be a tough game as it is. Why are you giving them more reason to want to beat you?
Trust.
This is what
As
I
an
mean.
Arsenal fan, I thought whatever. But I was in the crowd at Stamford Bridge that day, and he got it. And do I agree with everything it said? Absolutely not.
No,
But largely,
exactly.
I think he should be getting it from Arsenal fans
Yeah, of
because
course.
we want to make it difficult for him and uncomfortable for him.
Yeah.
We want to win the game.
It was
So
written in the stars when he said it.
Yeah.
it's one of those.
It is a shame, but I'm just wondering about where does is the line crossed, or does anybody know where the line is anymore? Because I've heard some disgusting, disgraceful things said about football back.
Of course.
And I don't want to start talking rubbish now. That if you said that to somebody outside, you might get into a fight.
No, 100%.
So why are you then allowed to say it at football? It's ridiculous.
No, but this is going back to what we was talking about at the World Cup and Qatar and allowing alcohol, because these are some of the things that are within the football culture.
On
Do you understand?
So normalised.
That's it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
normalised.
stuff. There's
Yeah.
a lot of stuff in football and football fandom that I find really uncomfortable.
Well, James,
I don't always feel safe going to games.
Really? I'm sorry to hear that, James.
No, I mean, I'm tired. I'm not. That makes it sound like I'm looking for real. So what I mean is that sometimes, you know, I just think. Like it's just sometimes I hope it's all right. Like, you know, just sometimes football fans get.
Are you saying it from being part of AFTV, or are you just saying in terms of just a general public?
I'm probably exaggerating, guys. He's offside.
I'll just say sorry.
No, but I get you, and I can imagine someone who doesn't go football and suddenly goes. You can be like, oh, raw, like this is actually like fucking hell. Why is he shouting so much?
Why is he screaming? Why is he abusing? Because sorry to interrupt.
I don't want to say I don't. Sorry, it's not that.
No, James,
I'd never
we know
go to a
what you're
game
talking
and think, oh my god, I'm worried. It's not that.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
there's
I know.
sometimes you just think for a second, like, okay, I know what football can be like. Or maybe it crosses your mind for a sec, or maybe you maybe in the corner of the ground, so you hear something going on, and I don't know. I don't know. Or am I with the Arsenal fans as I enter here? Do I want to? You know, you just cross and that's all. But, you know, I think we still got a long way to go in a lot of ways.
Well,
but I think fans are also amazing in a lot of ways.
Absolutely. But then, James, what I would say, I don't know what you lot think, but as somebody that's been lucky enough to go like we all are, and I sit right next to the away fans, it just seems that you can say any rubbish, but it's football. You can act like a football moron, but it's football. It's okay. And this is what I don't like. Because you don't have to be. Sorry, James. You don't have to behave. But obviously, because it's football culture, it's all right to act like that. It's all right to act.
There's no other like thing in the world where you can shout. Let's say, for example, I hope your parents die and get away with it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but this is what I'm saying, Artan. But in football, like it's normalised and it's so wrong. Because the funny thing is, when you're behaving at football, sometimes people are looking. What's he doing there? Because they expect you
it's
to.
It's a library, you know what I mean?
They expect. I've had it so many times. The last game at Tottenham when I went, but they to be fair, they did warn us. So they said that not that I'm misbehaving. They did say that if you don't behave, you're not going to go to Emirates. But anyway, and I was watching the game, and people are looking. What's he doing? I've come to watch the game. I know I sit next to whatever, but that's my first thing is to watch the game, because where I sit, from what I see from both fans, sometimes, I'm sorry to overdo it, is that sometimes people will say anything they can to put teams off, and I don't agree with that. Because I think if you've got that money, put it in a positive spin for your own team. You know, it's so disappointing. It's so
classy from Odegaard. Arsenal, 10 minutes into the second half, still moving the ball around nicely, but not really causing the kind of problems we want in the second half.
We should be level.
I think we should across the whole game. I'm not sure this second half we've done too much. Couple moments.
The second half's been a bit slow, but we're still, I think we're still looking good. We just need to create a few more.
Can I just read some comments? We've got Dave says referees don't feel safe at football games when tyres are about.
They need to park somewhere else. Find another parking space.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
I'm waiting by his car.
Listen, don't say that. Don't paint me as the bad guy. Because the man, if the man is ignoring me now, you're going to speak to me. You're not going to dismiss me. You just said, I'm not talking to you. Go away. I'll go to your car.
He finds a number plate.
No, that's it. You can't do that, Ty.
He finds a number plate with Clattenburg, but the E is a 3.
But that's invading his privacy, no?
Maybe it is, but then don't ignore me then. Why are you ignoring me then?
Because he doesn't want to speak to you.
But you could. But if you are a referee, and you're making that decision, I've got every right as a fan to say to you, why did you make? But I'm not speaking to you.
But he has every right also to not reply.
But then I don't agree with that because you are a referee. You're in charge. I do hear what you're saying. He's like me now. If somebody said to me, you said this, unexplained. You said I was unexplained. I said, I don't want to talk to you. They can say, but you said on AFTV, you said this. Why do you want to speak to me? It's just the way he said it. If he said to her, listen, I'm sorry, I don't really know. But it's the way he said it, it's so dismissive. Because there's ways of saying it. He said it so dismissively, to just tell me to go away.
Yeah, I get it.
No. It's ironic that I'm dismissing you as you're making the point that referee's not dismissing you, but I hear what you're saying. I do think there needs to be more communication. But look, Arsenal, still some nice football being played. We're pressing quite well. Let's talk about Kieran Tierney, guys, because a lot of the, I guess, criticism, if we're being honest, there has been criticism of Kieran Tierney, and it's because I think people have been sort of quite politely trying to say we love him, but he's not Zinchenko in terms of that inverted role. But he's been playing.
He offers something different. In my opinion, I'll pick Zinchenko over Tierney, like any day of the week. However, and I don't mean that disrespectfully. I mean Tierney is someone in himself, and I think that
great option.
Look, he's a workhorse. You know he's going to put the work in. He's still got great crosses on the ball. He's still good defensively. There's nothing I can say really bad. The only thing you can't do is just do that inverted position well. But
he's improved a lot. I think over the mid-season games, he's looked really comfortable.
I agree, and he's still even though he doesn't play every game now.
That was a chance.
Another chance.
Even though he doesn't play every game, he's still. He doesn't. Yeah, but still, it looks like he's still focused. It doesn't look like it's throwing him off in any shape or form.
Exactly, and he's also a winner as well.
That's
what people are forgetting. He's a winner.
But I don't think it's criticism towards Tierney. I think it was more criticism towards Arteta for not selecting Tierney. That was the biggest thing. And why was Tomiyasu playing at left back? So I don't think it was a thing where they questioned his performances. I think
come on, go!
Oh, good ball in. I think Tierney has been showing us what he's been since he's come in the club. I haven't really seen a bad performance from him.
Do you see?
You know, I haven't seen a bad performance.
Yeah, I agree.
It's, I don't think it's criticism on him.
That is brilliant.
Unlucky. My kids did a run with it.
He checked back.
Superb Gabriel.
But has he improved? I don't think he's even improved. I just think it's because we haven't seen so much of him.
He's been
because
too injured.
Zinchenko's been playing and he's been too injured. So it's just a breath of fresh air to see that he gives us a little bit something different on the left. Yeah.
Just a miscommunication there between Gabriel and Marquinhos. But it was a lovely switch as well from Vieira to find Marquinhos. A great first touch.
That was absolutely brilliant.
Lots of comments. Severin asks, he's asking me, but I'll ask the panel as well, of course. Chiesa or Mudryk?
Possibly Mudryk at the moment. I'm not sure what Chiesa's doing too much.
I do like Chiesa.
I do like Chiesa. Do you know what? I'd have to say Chiesa.
I think.
Yeah, the reason why is Mudryk, as much as how great he looks and everything, and I'm just saying I could be completely wrong, could come to us and be amazing.
Chiesa's proved more.
Yeah, and I just think that in his league, it's just not the same. Unfortunately, it just is not the same thing. So I would pick him. And I think he's
done really well in the Champions League. I think 3 goals, 2 assists in 6 games, something like that. So
lovely.
This is a great comment by
in the box.
Thad.
Go on.
Lovely ball.
Go on, Vieira, right foot.
Go.
Oh, such a nice ball. That's clever. This is a great comment from Thabs. He says the Nelson sub killed us. Both Marquinhos and Tierney would like to go on the outside, so the balance is just gone.
I don't think he's killed us.
I get what he means though. Not killed us.
He's changed the shape. Yeah, but he hasn't killed us. I don't think he's killed us. No. But I do hear, obviously we have to change. Yeah.
See this, sorry, just on a quick one. Is this on the new thing, by the way, that we're going to start doing now? I noticed Tierney's been, much better at long throws.
Partey's been doing them.
I like this though.
I'm interested.
Gary Neville was really praising of it on the overlap. He said he loves that Arsenal are developing that nastiness in terms of defending really solidly, going down more easily, getting more from ropes, that kind of stuff. The dark arts, as they say. And I think throw-ins is a big part of that. I think just kind of, as in, just going, we're going long. And teams are like, what? Okay.
Well, I think it's...
Was it Burnley that did it?
If you cast your minds back to when, in our dark ages, or when we wasn't doing so well, teams used to be so successful against us, using your Stokes or whatever.
Yeah.
The long
But
throws,
set
Rory
pieces you've
Delap's.
improved on massively.
Yeah.
That's true,
So I
but-
think we've adopted some of the things that used to be our weaknesses, and we've added it to our game, which I do
Like
like.
corners.
Yeah.
We're sick at corners and defending them.
Goal.
Oh, go on.
Oh, that was
Go on,
nearly
back in the box, back in the box.
Goal.
Oh, surely that's a
Yes, come on.
No.
what's he giving?
Wait, what?
Why is he giving a foul for?
Head injury.
No, but that's not a foul though.
Oh,
It's not a
said
foul.
offside. He said offside or something.
But then you said this is a goal. I don't know why he's not giving this because he didn't foul. He didn't foul him though.
What do you mean?
He
They
didn't
both
foul him.
went in for it.
The thing is, the ref can't chalk off the goal unless he's paused the game for a head injury
Exactly.
before the goal.
Before
is
it's gone
scored.
in, yeah.
And
So
he has
the
a-
ball comes in.
Hold on, look.
Yeah, fine. Nothing wrong. Okay, so it's a clash of heads.
Look.
And I think it's an own goal.
That's a goal.
It's own goal.
You can't. I'm sorry, but you can't.
You can't chalk.
Is that Bonucci? Is Bonucci come on?
Let's see, it's right here.
No, that's not Bonucci.
Look, there's
No, he doesn't play for me much. He doesn't.
Unless he's
Regarding-
Did he touch the ball? Did Gabriel touch the ball?
No, he didn't.
He didn't. That
Right,
means
and then
That's a goal.
Maybe it's a foul. Maybe,
Yeah, I
maybe
think
he
that's a
sees
foul.
it.
Unless he's given a foul before.
Still.
But then
Oh,
Cedric El Neni and
a Mario.
Mario.
That's a Mario.
Jeez.
Kozia Dubry. Is
Yeah.
that the? Is that
That's
his
the
name?
winger. Yeah.
Yeah, he's good.
Apparently, it's class.
Yeah,
Brilliant
he's
player.
good.
Brilliant player.
He's good.
Brilliant player.
Jamesy says James does waffle a lot. I respect it. Thank you.
Yeah,
Not sure how to take it, but
Yeah, but
thank
James,
you.
he would.
You're using the wrong
Yeah, but
word,
he would know,
waffle.
innit?
It's not this.
He's talking about breakfast, innit? You would know, innit? So you know, what I mean, you would know about waffle, innit?
So what's happening here with Gabriel? He's down.
Let's
He
hope.
looks in some
He looks
discomfort.
out.
Yeah, it doesn't look good. I didn't think it was bad.
I think it might be a tooth or like
Just have a look at it again.
One of his
yeah, that side of his
whack him,
face,
yeah.
cheek or something.
But then this is what I don't understand. The rule is meant to me when it's a head injury, you stop it. So that means
true.
then he should be stopped straight away. Why did we get to score a goal then? Where's his head injury? You stop it straight away. I don't understand these rules. I don't understand.
Tress says, if Eddie was as great as some make him out to be, he would have shown some goals or quality. Remember we praised Lacquer up top for great hold-up play till Jesus came about. Eddie ain't it.
So what did Eddie do last season then? Or is he or she forgetting?
I think he scored more goals than Lacquer and Aubameyang
Exactly.
Yeah.
in
they
like
can't
the
make
last 5
Yeah.
games of the season.
you were saying about the dark arts.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then dark arts in between the game. Because those are Rory did that. I'm not talking about the long balls. I remember the challenges, him and that disgrace Ryan Sugar.
Oh, yeah.
That was out of it.
Yeah,
We're not
yeah,
doing
yeah.
that.
Yeah,
But it's
no,
so
no, no.
interesting. They say about dark arts, right?
Yeah.
We should develop dark arts. Anytime Granny gets a red card, he's a liability. So you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, no. Maybe dark arts is probably the wrrong word to use.
No, it's fine as long as it's within the rules.
Yeah, I
because
think
what
we-
Stoke did and Pulis, that football coward disgrace, was out of the rules, and the referees and linesmen were too cowardly to punish them. That's why Aaron got his leg broken. That's why Eduardo got his leg broken. That's why Vas got his leg broken.
I think it wasn't even cowardly. I just think that they just didn't like Arsenal. It's always been a thing where people don't like
Yeah, but what's the
Arsenal.
referee doing then? That's your job. If you see someone trying to injure someone, you send them off. What are you doing? You're allowing them to break people's legs, and it's so interesting. There's only us that got 3 broken legs. No one else did.
Yeah.
Even when we went to play Newcastle last season. Unfortunately, we lost 2-0.
Gabriel.
I was having an argument with a goon, and he said, "Oh yeah, no." He swings in roundabout. I said to him, "You then tell me another club that had 3 broken legs." He said he had to point. He said, "Yeah, you're right." Don't say it. And all those, and how did that impact our progress? Because we did really well.
Of course.
IK Osioa says, bringing in at least one top striker would be the only indication that we're going for the league. Anything else would be settling for top 4.
No, I don't
what if it was Mudryk or a
don't think
winger?
that's so-
Would that make
this
you think
look-
we're actually going for it?
So, in my opinion, I do kind of agree with that. I would like to see another top striker, but I am more on a winger right now and a midfielder. I think we can't deny that we need we need a box to box, like or a CDM, like like Partey is like a deep line box to box, but like I think we need another Partey, and I'd take Tillmans for example, or I'd take. It looks like Mudryk at the moment. Or do you know that Danilo brother?
Apparently that's gone really quiet now.
Yeah, I heard much at
They
all.
said Asensio as well.
You're saying that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Come on, Lars, this is good. So Partey's come off for El Neni.
Oh, well done,
Vieira looks like has moved into sort of more left central midfield. So
Tierney's a lot in the centre, isn't he?
Yeah.
Well, this is where he might be playing that little.
So there's Vieira on the ball, so that would indicate Xhaka's probably come off, which makes sense.
Yeah, he has.
Tierney is playing central.
What else have we got?
That's interesting.
He's basically playing where Xhaka was almost.
Let me just try and get all the subs up here. Sorry, guys. We are meant to be providing the audience with news.
Right.
Tierney on the ball. Oh, great spread across.
It's a great ball, you know. It's a great ball. It's a great ball again from Kieran.
So the changes are
Yeah, Granite, yep.
not updated. Oh yeah, they are. So Amaro Kozia-Dubry's on.
Well,
We knew Marquinhos was on. Cedric's on. El Neni as well. We've seen so maybe 4 or 5 changes in there. Okay, so let's see. El Neni, Odegaard, Vieira in midfield together. Tierney underlapping. Well, El Neni did really well in the other mid-season friendlies as well. So good to see him back.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Look at him. He's just free.
Yeah, he really is, isn't he? Look how high up he is.
Because they don't know what to do now, Juventus.
They're really coming to the fullbacks. Really coming to support. Okay, that's
yes.
All right, come
Yes.
on, cut in.
Yes.
Oh!
Was that a cross or was that a
Come
shot?
So I think
I'm very
Marquinhos
sorry.
has moved to the right and Kozia-Dubry's
Mario nearly
moved.
in.
How old is Amaro Kozia-Dubry?
17, 18.
17.
That's a foul. That's a foul. So I
Yeah,
think
that's
it's
got to be
free
a
kick.
foul. But it
17,
I
18
think
is
they're
very,
going
very
to give
young.
the corner. So he's playing on the left wing now. Is he left or right-footed?
I'm not sure. I think he can go both ways.
So
But he's very dangerous winger.
So Marquinhos has gone out to the right.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I guess I don't know a lot about Kozia-Dubry.
No, he's
Is he a winger?
He is a winger, yeah.
Cool. So maybe we've got 2 more natural wingers.
He's very, very good, though.
Vieira's
Very,
more
very-
of a 10 out wide. So
Very dangerous.
be interesting to see how they do, guys.
Come on.
Everyone watching the watch along, 3.5k of you. Hit the like button, subscribe to AFTV if you haven't yet.
Love
More
for the
content
support.
still coming out as now after this. It's all eyes on West Ham.
Yes.
Tierney now on the ball.
When
Vieira
the real stuff starts again.
Ooh,
What's the date? How long is it until the West Ham game now?
Boxing Day. About
Boxing
9
Day,
days.
isn't it? Oh, okay,
Oh,
nice.
about 9
Yeah.
days.
But I can't believe he started so soon. But as long as we're ready.
Oh, Ramsdale.
I forgot Ramsdale's playing in this game. He's had nothing to do yet. We're 1-0 down.
Always giving away fouls. Come on.
Oh no, he's not giving a foul. Look.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
giving a
hasn't
foul.
given it.
Eddie's lucky there because I thought the referee was going to give a foul. He's
Come
very
on,
lucky.
Eddie, I need you to score a goal today. I just want him to get his confidence up. I need him to just feel
Great ball.
ready.
Great ball. Great ball. Great ball.
Come on.
Look at the fouling on Mohamed. It looks like I'm getting into real football mode already.
Tierney. That's it.
I don't know.
Ooh.
Me with these friendlies, I
Ooh.
still love to see it.
Go
Like,
on.
Yes, come
Yeah.
on. Oh, this is nice.
Fair play, that's
Well
good.
done,
ball in,
Mario.
unlucky.
Well done, Mario.
That was nice.
Lovely for him, man, to be playing with the first team at the Emirates pitch. That's not a foul, he's leaning into him. Well done, ref.
done,
Well done,
well
ref.
done.
Didn't fall for it.
Nice.
Get
The funny
out.
thing is, well, this is interesting though, because in a real game, then if he's diving, he needs to get yellow. Then, in the real
No, he's not diving, he's leaning into him to try and
Yeah,
make it look
yeah.
like he's being pulled down and that
Like
he's.
Kane.
Yeah, well.
Did you say Kane?
Kane waits till you're up in the air to do it. He's gone to
Tierney.
Poor effort.
It's poor effort, but I like just
20
the
to
fact
go.
that he's trying. Like that's what I want to see more of. I just want to see more shots from outside the box from people creating chances in some space.
It's a
I
good
don't- I
battle
don't-
between them two.
Yeah, Gable's possibly caught him.
Not that, yeah. To be fair, you really
Not a great effort.
definitely not the best.
Arsenal 0, Juve 1, 68 minutes, hitting the 69
to go.
point. Don't think they'll be playing World Cup levels of injury time.
Yeah.
But we will
That's
probably
quite
get
fascinating.
3 minutes or so. Still 20 minutes to go.
Oh.
He nearly got that. That
Yeah.
goalkeeper's lucky.
That was good skill for him. To be fair, that was really good skill.
He'd be caught him. The funny thing is, we was talking about the referee thing, and it's interesting that you've seen the referees. I think in the World Cup they've dealt with the players really, really well.
I've largely not had much of a problem with the officiating. in the
Yeah,
World Cup.
same.
No, I haven't.
I know a
Same.
lot of people have said it's been ridiculous. I
don't think it's
disagree.
been
I
But do you reckon that's because it's just not English referees? Because I feel like
Absolutely.
there's a reason why we've got have we got any in the World Cup?
yeah, we do have
Possibly
one or
not.
two. Yeah,
Possibly.
I've definitely seen one.
I
or two.
think so, Artan. I think so.
That's what it
Let's
seems
not
like
start a
anyway.
referee conversation again. But
But that's funny though. I have to admit, that's funny that you're not. Listen, man. He's acting. They acted like I went and started kicking his car or something. I wouldn't do that. But
puncture this time.
Exactly. You've got to be respectful because there is other things when.
Go on.
Oh!
That's actually not a bad effort. He's looking for Nketiah.
You know, there's other things when the referees have been really harsh and nobody wants that.
Yeah.
But like we said, accountability has got to be. Referees have got to be accountable.
Look at this from Eddie.
I think even if they're not going to do nothing in that, just a post-match interview.
Yeah,
just to explain, like, okay, so what do you think happened there?
Yeah,
you know
and then
what?
just so it's that little sense of
and
like.
VAR as well. VAR has to come out as well.
I'd happily not even have a post-match interview with the ref.
Okay.
I'd have what they have in rugby, which is you can hear the ref. I know you're going to get pick up from football, but then that encourages footballers to speak more respectfully. I know I said I want a little bit more spice and needle in games, but that's fine between the players and whatever. But in terms of minding your language and knowing that you're being heard by a young audience and that fans are going to hear it in rugby, they're able to stay on top of it.
Well, that's what I mean. This is what I mean.
Here's Vieira on the ball now wide to Koza Dubra. I think he's looked quite bright, quite lively. Marquinhos is out to the right. Let's see if Arsenal can try find. We're still dominating a lot of the ball, but we're not doing enough really in terms of creating.
There's no clear cut like one-on-one, for example.
Oh, Eddie does well down for Vieira. Good block. He struck that really well.
Come on, Fabio.
He really knows how to hit a football.
He does.
Fabio.
For such a short guy, no offense to short people, that are not as tall, but I'm really digging myself a hole here. He can strike a ball. No, I'm saying in terms of the power that he generates. The power that he generates is very, very.
He's not the most bulky of individuals, but he can really hit that ball like precisely. He doesn't.
It's down to the
shank it often. He doesn't. He knows how to just get the laces through it when he has to. Just put the ball in the net, says Golden Lime. I think that is what they're trying.
Golden Lime, I think that's a great idea.
I remember.
If only it was that easy.
Match of the day once caught. Do you remember Paul Ince was manager of Blackburn?
Yes.
And they caught him on the touchline. They zoomed in on his notepad, and the notepad just had a picture of a football pitch with an arrow, and it said shoot. And I was like, that is hilarious. he actually wrote that on his notes. That is brilliant.
Yeah, but then that's interesting. They zoom in on Paul Ince. How many other managers have they zoomed in on? Isn't he? I'm just thinking.
He was by the bench.
So he could be seen then.
And his he was walking back to his bench, and the notepad was facing in the direction of the cameras.
Right.
They zoomed in. It was honestly a football pitch with an arrow.
It's so fascinating. It's so fascinating to see what they do.
But do you remember when Arteta? They caught Arteta's notes.
Yeah.
We actually made a thumbnail on AFTV when I did a tactical insight, and we edited me on the bench.
Yeah.
With I'll find it.
But I just think sometimes, the managers are more savvy than they're credit for. Sometimes they could just do that knowing that they're going to pick up on it. I really believe they could do that.
Yeah, that's true.
It
is true.
Let's see if I can find it.
Bringing the ball forward.
Come on.
Still 1-0, 73rd minute.
Really impressed. Apart from, I'm really impressed with this. I really am impressed. I think
Tierney again taking up his position.
It's like he's a CDM.
Playing really well.
It's literally like he's playing CDM right
essentially what he's got to do.
That's a lovely chip. Corner.
Man. I think he might give a goal
It's
kick.
great. It's just this final phase, honestly.
How's that not a corner?
Yeah, I thought we might. This was it. There you go. There you go, that middle one. I'll put the link in the chat.
Okay.
The job of the great editors we have here.
Absolutely.
Yeah, shout out to people, the editors.
Absolutely. Brilliant.
Come on now, boys.
Come on.
That's probably one of my favourite thumbnails we've ever had done here at AFTV. It was good fun. Listen, what are we? 74 minutes. Arsenal, I wouldn't say they're really knocking on the door, but they do look the...
We've done enough to be level, if not ahead.
Yeah, I mean, sure. I think that's more because you've done nothing and got a goal rather than... It's like they've had 2 or 3 good chances, on the counter. They have done absolutely nothing. The best chances have been ours, but I still don't think we've really done enough. I think the football's been sharp. It's been energised. It's been entertaining.
Crossing,
goal.
But it's just lacked a little bit of finesse.
But he still is a friendly. I mean, we don't have first 11. So like I said, I fully expect if that's the first team minus Gabriel J, we're ahead.
I think this is a good workout for them though. You know, the last two we went ahead in both.
Exactly.
And comfortably ahead in both.
Exactly.
Bring on the youngsters. This is now, you know, the team now have to be looked at. Can you find goals here when it gets
solutions?
tricky?
Exactly.
Look at the amount of players though. I mean, it's unbelievable. Look how many players we're getting forward now.
Yeah, exactly.
Amari's looking good, you know.
He
What's
is.
his name?
Yeah.
Is it Amari?
Kozia
Amario,
Dubry, yeah.
Oh, Kozia.
Amario, yeah.
Amario.
Yeah.
Here we go. Cedric now on the ball. Good to see Cedric get some minutes.
You heard about Cedric. Apparently he might be going in Jan, yeah. What are you saying? Would you let him go?
Yeah, I would. I'd
want to keep him, but you know, I suppose he's been very.
I'd like to keep him as depth.
He's been very committed. He hasn't been moaning and he hasn't been playing minutes.
Yeah, I'd let him do whatever he wants.
Oh no, you're not going.
Bit like Bernd Leno.
Exactly.
I'd love to have a Bernd Leno as our number two.
Absolutely brilliant.
Oh yeah, 100%.
You know,
Leno, yeah.
good luck. And Matt Turner, by the way, after his World Cup displays,
Yeah, fair play.
I think he's looking.
Come on.
Very reassuring.
Yeah.
Zero composure and final third. Typical, says Andrew. Yeah, not what we've become accustomed to. Well,
typical Juventus or typical us?
No, I think it's typical us. But I mean, this season.
Well, if it's typical us, sorry, James. If typical us, then typical is top of the league, then isn't it? If it's typical us.
Well, no, I think we scored 33 goals.
So let's look at the big. When you say typical, what do you mean?
That was a bad challenge.
That was a bad tackle. That's a foul.
What, you're telling me that's not even a foul?
Exactly.
No, I won the ball.
I don't know. I thought that was reckless.
I thought it was a bad foul. You know what I mean? So when you say typical, you know what I mean? It's like, aren't we top of the league by 5 points? So because we're 1-0 down to Juventus in the friendly, when Juventus have done nothing, people just want to complain.
Right, I'm going to quickly pop to the bathroom, guys. I know it's only 15 minutes to go. But Ty, as you've been on AFTV for a long time, Kwarme's in charge. Let's look after the comments.
I'm going to clip that.
Make sure they're all
Very
right.
good, Jay.
They promoted me for the time being. Obviously, please send in your comments. I've got some people here saying Eddie is utterly awful.
No, he's not.
He's not awful.
He's not awful.
You can't say he's awful.
Very disrespectful.
There's a lot of Eddie hate. What is this?
I don't know
If
why.
you can't compare, like Jesus is one of the best strikers in the world.
Exactly.
You can't compare, but
I
hear you. We want, like the best number 9 ever, but he's just not Jesus. So you got to bear just for now. I'll give him January. I'll literally give him January. If he don't perform in Jan, then I'm like.
When Yeri's about to come on, Ethan Young.
But he needs
minutes. Who's he coming off from? This would be a good 77th minute, people. There's still time. Marquinhos needs a loan. Eddie needs to score 10 goals a match to be accepted.
10 goals a match. What is that? No, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, no, it is ridiculous. People, let's be a bit more positive.
Exactly.
Christmas is coming up. We need to be a bit more positive. You know.
I don't understand. If you're dissing the man, how do you expect the man to perform when you're dissing?
Oh, great touch. Look at I'm liking this kid. You know,
he's very good.
Just from seeing like little bits of him,
this is what he does. This is what he does. Very good.
Low center of gravity, just seems like quick to turn.
Yeah.
Ty, for you, is it someone that you saw kind of when watching the academy or watching the under 21s and that,
absolutely.
the 23s?
And when he got his pro contract.
Yeah.
And from then, he's just gone from strength to strength.
Good. Sorry, brother.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say, I think that we need to take our chances on some of these younger, like academy kids a little bit more. The same way that Freddie took a chance on Saka. Like I feel like we can have another one of their moments, and I do think that our number 8 position, like Patino, bro. I do think there's an
Charlie,
Charlie's doing well on Blackpool.
He needs to figure out a way to get into this first team.
I think he will, but at the moment it's very difficult.
But do you think this is part of our DNA as Arsenal? It's always been about the youth. It's always been about them coming through the next generation. So I'm not surprised that we're still able to. Oh, go on, Ethan.
Oh, well done.
Yes. Oh, Hamu. No. Ah, gosh. Right, let's see. Always said Balogun is better. I want to see us play. Are you honestly saying, Ty, that Eddie is Arsenal top 6 quality?
Top 6? What do you mean? Top 6?
He's top 6 quality.
Oh, they're saying top 6 in the league quality. I would. Do you know what I would? You answer this actually, because
well, listen. What I'm saying is, if he's what we have, then we back him.
Oh, go on.
Yeah. Come on.
If it's
Just
what
the
we have,
final third.
we back him, don't we?
Oh.
We back him.
Oh, James nearly snapped it. Just if you missed that, but
I
true.
wish you lot saw it. Here you go, mate.
I said, yeah, no, I'm going to back it.
Pass the baton back on to you.
I'm
Thank
saying
you so much.
he's good enough. He's good enough to do a job.
Ooh.
That's what I'll say.
Yeah.
Just a quality ball.
Come on, someone, come on, please. Tierney, this is your chance.
The one thing about Juventus is their DNA is defending. So I'm blocking.
Italy.
It is. But
All of Italy.
Even they would admit there's no way they should be ahead. They know that. They know they should never be ahead.
Don't give away silly fouls. 10 minutes
Yeah,
left.
They should never be ahead.
10 minutes left.
Yeah, James, somebody was asking me, am I seriously saying Eddie's top 6 quality? And I'm backing the man. I'm backing the man.
But again, you know, what to start every week for a team that's
Exactly,
going
that's what I
for
mean.
Europa
Imagine.
League and Champions League football.
Exactly, it's going to be very difficult.
I don't think so. I still have to be convinced. But for someone who can
To cover,
play
yes.
a big part
Exactly,
in the team
yes.
that finishes the top
Do you think he
6,
starts for anyone in the top 6?
No, I don't. He doesn't start for City, he doesn't start for Liverpool, he doesn't start for Chelsea. Ooh.
Nah,
Not
you
Chelsea.
can't say over Aubameyang.
But Pierre's not doing that at the moment.
If you offered me a Aubameyang already right now, I'd take Eddie.
Would you?
Yeah,
Well,
genuinely.
then you might as well take Tammy Abraham because, you know, in terms of...
But Brozier, I think, has got great potential.
Yes.
Yeah.
Havertz, I think we just know that there's quality in him. But
Is he an out-and-out striker? I know he's obviously it's not his
Newcastle
position.
then, does he start? Probably
No,
doesn't
not
start.
over Callum Wilson.
No, not over Callum
No,
Wilson.
he doesn't
He doesn't
start.
start over Martial or Rashford for me. He doesn't start over Harry
Yeah.
Kane or Richarlison. But I believe he's got a lot to offer.
Yeah.
Listen,
Do you know what, on that note, actually, I've heard a few people say that we'd take Rashford. Would you take Rashford? I'd take Rashford.
I'll take Rashford, yeah.
I genuinely think I'd take
him,
Rashford.
yeah. I
don't think he'd start for us.
that's the thing.
But
Would he start? Yeah, I probably
I think
would
he
take
would.
that.
No, he
yeah,
would.
I think he's got a lot to offer still.
But who's he going to start ahead of though?
He would start. I'll start him ahead of Eddie.
He would start ahead of Ed. But then, if you take Marcus, then you'll say to
Oh,
Eddie,
Gabriel.
if you're taking Marcus,
need to
you're
do
then
that.
relegating Eddie to number 3, and he's already number 2. isn't he?
But the thing is if we do bring in another striker, Eddie's not going to feature
Yeah,
at all,
Eddie's
is
done.
No, I think he would still start, but then I think he knows what the situation is.
Yeah,
He knows what the
yeah,
situation
yeah.
is. But I'm just thinking, would it be more slap in the face if we're getting an English striker?
he? Yeah.
That's all. That's what I mean. Whereas if we get someone abroad, you know what I mean? I think maybe he could accept that more, possibly. Possibly. But that's the thing, James. That's what we're not saying he's the one to start. We're saying he's to come in. We're not saying he should start, because obviously he won't with Gabriel J. But we're saying he's good enough to fit in.
I think interesting question. We've not really seen enough from anyone really in this second half. We've kind of. I think the first half was better.
He tried to
there's only
nutmeg
10
him.
That was nice. That was nice.
He
That
tried
was-
to nutmeg
Don't
him.
give a pen.
Yeah, don't.
Come on,
He
please.
tried to nutmeg him. Is he serious?
Honestly.
Yeah, go on, James.
Yeah. No, just the second half has been a lot of
underwhelming.
Arsenal looking pretty, but there's not been a lot. You know, as Josh says, this is a weak Juve team. It is a weak Juve
Well,
team.
it doesn't matter. But is this a stronger team?
Well,
This
it's
is not our
enough.
first
It's
11.
The starting
It
11
is
was
strong.
was,
It
was
is
our what we're probably going to start against West Ham.
No, but it's going to be stronger because Gabriel and Bukai will be there. So you know what I mean?
Yeah,
If we got our first
Well-
11, if we got our first whole 11 and we lose, that's different. But when we haven't and we're not in, I'm not really worried about Juventus. I'm not really worried.
I
about
agree that this front three is missing Saka, Martin, Jesus, Smith Rowe, and maybe then a signing. You know, that's 5 extra players on top of this.
Yeah.
And I think we are getting that signing.
You know, and also
so
William
yes,
as well. There's no William as well.
there is that, but
You know,
at the
so-
same time,
But also we know that we're very unlucky as well. You can't say we're not. There's no way we should be behind in this game. We're unlucky as well. We've
That's
got
a
a
it's
look
a
at that
nice
as well.
touch.
That was a great
Because
move.
Oh, he's done this. He's done this all game.
Well
Look
done.
at
Well
this.
done. He's
This
doing
guy.
great.
Hey!
Yeah, rest
That's
giving
a
it.
foul.
He's class.
He's
He's
really good.
That's what we
It's
want.
causing problems.
Bro,
Look at the Mario.
Look, turn him. Gone.
Look at that. Look, he's in.
That low centre of
He's in.
gravity. Gone.
He's
Have to
in.
move him.
That's a big weight difference.
That
there,
deep.
Oh, Gatti, that's his name. I thought it was.
He's in. Mario's in.
Yeah.
You know, so we got to take it for what it is. I'm impressed. I'm impressed with.
I'm
the team.
very impressed.
I know the scoreline might not suggest it, but I think we've done really well. I'm really impressed.
All right, come on. If we can get one goal here, Eddie at the back post.
You're not impressed?
That's what I want to
I'm
see.
impressed, but is it something I haven't
Wouldn't
seen?
say I'm
I've seen this-
impressed.
Yeah,
I've
I
seen
wouldn't-
this before
yeah.
in terms
I'm
of
not
us
angry.
controlling the game. It's more I want to see us be again. It's
Yeah.
being.
If there was
ruthless.
loads of shots that were saved really well, then yeah, I'd say I'm impressed. But
it's less to,
we've not actually had clear-cut chances.
But it's lessons to learn, isn't it? Because I'm sure against West Ham, he'll be a different game altogether. And I don't expect us to not.
Whoa.
I don't expect us.
Go on,
to
outside of the box. Come on.
That's one of the most extravagant
Go on,
one-twos
have
I've
a
seen in my life.
pop. Oh,
Great
great
ball.
ball
Yeah,
in.
lovely
What
ball.
a beautiful
Do
ball.
not dare give a free kick on the goalkeeper.
Yeah, I was just
Goalkeepers
I
get
hate
so
it.
many free kicks in
Yeah.
those
That was a
situations.
great ball as well.
You're allowed to run out and use your
Odegaard,
hands, and you want the ref to help you as well.
Well
Well
done,
done. He's
Mario.
done really well.
Brilliant, Amaro.
Goes to Dubry. What?
Oh, done.
He's
word.
Give
doing
him the
so well,
ball.
honestly.
Just give him the ball.
Absolutely brilliant.
In the short time that he's been playing today, I think he's played better than Nelson did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, and I rated Nelson. I did,
good,
but
though.
Started quite brightly.
He's done more than Marquinhos for me.
oh
Yeah.
yeah. He's been more impactful. Like I would want to give him the
Oh,
ball.
Cedric, this guy.
That's not a bad ball.
Oh,
Very
that
good.
was that was composed.
That was very composed.
Second A says overreacting. It's a friendly. Come on, guys. I think we're pretty. Why are these guys clapping? Because a youngster who's come through the Arsenal
What do you
academy,
mean? Because-
who's getting his first minutes in the
What
Emirates
do you
pitch
mean?
with the first
Why are you
team,
caring? Why
is
do you
showing
care?
really good signs and
What
is
do you
pulling
mean,
off
why are we
good
clapping?
skill.
Why
And
do
we're
you
proud
care,
of it.
bro?
I don't understand that.
Just
What
let
do
us
you mean?
clap. If we want to clap, let us clap.
But we're clapping the team.
The celebration police are back. We
Yeah.
haven't seen you.
Hey, we're back.
You know, bro.
Are we not meant to do that?
Bro, what's wrong with you?
Are we not meant?
Appreciate you jumping on the stream there. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks for the comment.
Are we not meant to do that?
Hey, love for that, man. Make sure you press the like button.
Are we not meant to do that?
Come on, Arsenal.
Come on,
You gotta be
boys.
happy. It's the next generation. Come on.
So Nwaneri and Odegaard,
Ethan.
is that right?
Ethan's come on anyway, yeah.
Oh, okay. Odegaard's still on, but Fabio Vieira's gone back to the right. Okay.
Yeah. It's
Fabio.
all over
All
the
right,
gaff.
fine. Mixing it up a lot. Come
Cedric.
on. Cedric as well. We just overlap, try and just inject a little bit of something on the outside.
Yeah.
This is less like attack versus defense. This is what it's like.
Yeah, but some good comments coming in from fans saying, who was it? I think it was Ryan was saying, very similar to last
Corner.
season in that a lot, lots of nice football at times,
Yeah,
but it just gets a little bit quiet in the build-up
Yeah.
phase. I think we're lacking so many players to
Yeah,
kind of take that too seriously.
No,
Yeah.
but you can't take that seriously because once again, this is a friendly and we're top of the league by 5 points. So last season, we were trying to get in the top 4. So it's a very
Ball in.
different
Great
subject.
ball.
Oh, that was a really good ball as
Do
well.
you feel like Jesus makes that difference though in the team?
Of course it does.
Do you know what I mean?
Of
That
course it does.
small difference of nice play but can't finish.
Of course
and
he
then
does.
it's like Jesus brings that sense of for me,
course he does.
like makes that small tiny difference.
Of course he does.
You know what I mean?
It does.
And that's what we're going to have to try and
Yeah, it
bridge
does,
while
and-
he's out.
And Gabriel.
But I think,
Martinelli as well.
I think there's another way of doing it.
Go on.
I really do think there is. And we have to find
well
that way, and I'm sure we
played.
will.
Oh, unlucky.
That's what I like to see.
Probably
Nice.
quite far wide, but well done, Nwaneri.
We're clapping again.
Yeah.
Clapping
There we go.
again.
Cheers, guys. Yeah.
I'm joking. Please.
We're clapping again.
No, you're tired. Oh no, I started something. I was just trolling
Sorry.
the comments. Never mind.
I won't be doing that again.
Thanks for
No.
being there, people.
Absolutely not.
It's funny. It's funny.
Um,
Come
Right.
on, boys.
Do you think Arteta will be happy with this?
no,
He'll be happy. He'll be
I don't think
happy
he'll
with the
worry
performance.
too much.
He won't worry. He'll be happy.
That's
with
a
the performance.
lovely.
And like you said,
of course,
Kwarme,
it's a lovely
what he would say is that when it's the real game, you make sure you put them away.
Yeah.
Don't worry about this because even a weak Juventus is still very difficult.
Yeah,
But
of
you
course.
make sure if you create those chances against West Ham, you score and you win the game. That's what he will be saying.
Corner.
what
Avic
he's saying.
says, very similar to the Wolves game, then a magic move through Jesus opened the gate.
Yeah.
Low
Yes.
block is the problem, it looks
Yes,
like.
that's
Yeah,
true. But Wolves, that's true. Exactly. No, that's a very good point. That's what we are at home. So listen, I'm not underestimating West Ham, but I expect if we play like this, I expect us to win. I really do.
89 minutes exactly on the clock.
Come on, Arsenal, man.
Come on, man. Just one
Probably
goal.
3-4 minutes.
Yeah.
Turkish is in the comments. Love the Turkish.
Yes,
Love the
Turkish,
Turkish,
man.
Turkish.
I'll answer your question in one sec. Let's just see this corner from Cedric. Headed away.
Come on. Have a
Balls
pop. Have a
to
pop.
goes to Dubra, I think. Nwaneri, lovely
Oh,
ball.
nice.
Lovely.
Too cramped. Too.
Gabriel
Well
wins
done,
it
well
back,
done, well done, well
and they
done,
go
well done, well
again. Are they going to sustain the pressure here?
Great switch
Yes,
wide.
wide.
Look at this
Cedric.
player.
Cedric has turned into prime Cristiano Ronaldo here. Step over and
Oh,
cross.
Gabriel tried it.
Tierney trying to get forward. defended well by Juve. Will they get this back? No, Juve are countering here. So let's answer. Turkish asks, how are we looking? Stats have been all over them, but it's not about stats. Talk to me. Big up everyone on the panel. And Artan making his debut. Yeah. I would say we've looked clearly the better side in everything but putting it in the back of the net.
Yeah. That's all. Never fall.
You know, we've been really sharp. We've pressed really well. There's been some lovely combinations. We've got into good areas, but Eddie hitting the post after we kind of pressed them into giving the ball away, and a disallowed two disallowed goals, one for offside and one for a head injury that I don't think should have been disallowed. No, I think largely we can consider ourselves unfortunate not to at least be level.
Come on, close them down.
But you can see we lack a little bit of finesse and quality when the front three are missing.
Exactly. If not,
and now Juve could go 2 up, and they go 2 up.
See what
deflected goal again.
There's no way enough. But
deflected goal again.
Listen, we don't worry about that. We don't worry about that.
It's not that. I've got to remember it's a friendly.
Exactly. There's no way.
It's just the way
they don't deserve to win.
Giving the ball away.
2-0 has flattered them.
We won the ball back.
Even a 2-1 defeat would flatter them.
Open up your body and go to the left.
Yeah, man. There's no way.
It's just frustrating that they a team that they get basically two chances and they put it away. It's like with us, you might as well just forget the fancy football at the start and just make sure you put them in the net.
But this, unfortunately, no one wants to think. But this is what we need to make sure that we are not complacent when we start again.
It's actually very good. This is exactly what happened in the first half. Yeah. For the whole 45 and the next 45, we did all the football. We had the better chances, everything. Yeah. We have the ball disallowed for offside, and they have a deflected effort. They are 2-0 up. And I don't think they've had one actual chance.
They should be
genuinely. The shot from distance isn't a chance. Yeah. That's rolled into him. One and then 2 of them are crosses. They go in the back of the net. But you know what? Juve have come here without a lot of players, and they've defended well. So
that's it. You don't need to be the best team. You don't need to be the best footballing team to win.
No, if we get that lucky, we'll batter West Ham. If we get as lucky as Juventus.
Look, do you know what I like? Do you know what? Also, a good thing about that I'll take from this game is that we've been flying high in the league, everything's been going great. We've just been humbled here. Maybe this will make people think, you know what? We need to turn up.
What it would do, exactly. And I'll tell you, what it would do is make sure that when we go into that West Ham game, there's no complacency. Because I'm not saying we ever be complacent, but this is what happens when you don't do what you're supposed to. If we'd put away chances, we'd have finished.
But it's the confidence going into the game.
Listen, we lost 4-2 to Watford, didn't we? At a friendly. That didn't dent our confidence, isn't it? The season starts again against West Ham. As long as we're ready, I don't see a problem.
I certainly think. Go on, Eddie. Well done. I certainly think one loss when we've had all the wins we've had
would the end of the world.
My guess would be you're going to get more of a wake-up call than you are a kick of confidence. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Whereas if we lost all of these pre-season games and didn't play well, I think that'd be more like, oh God, actually, what? Are we that bad, or we miss a couple of players?
Exactly, James, and also being players of the park, which we haven't. We play Juventus
off the park. We ain't been played off the park. But I'm just saying. We was playing in Dubai, right? We was playing. I would have preferred to have lost, let's say, in Dubai, and then come home, be on our own turf, or on our own pitch, and put in a convincing win with some goal.
But listen, that's for West Ham, Kwarme.
We lost to Brighton in the Carabao Cup after making a few changes. And then I thought, oh, this isn't really the kind of. It's not really what you want as you're about to go into. I think we maybe still had Chelsea to go before that. Chelsea and Wolves.
Yeah, we won both of them.
And ultimately we ended up playing absolutely brilliantly.
Exactly.
So I think there's a mental sturdiness to this team.
There is.
And Juve have won.
Full time.
And they look really happy about it. Disappointing for Arsenal.
Disappointing, but listen. We go against West Ham. When it comes to West Ham, there's no messing about.
Talking about Holden. You know, that chance there, or coming off holding.
Yeah. Oh, was it?
It's just a bit unfortunate, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a bit unfortunate.
But you know, is what it is. Arsenal today were. I mean, I guess it was.
Look, I'd say everything else other than the final third, everything else was spot on.
Yeah. Fortunately, that's where the difference, mate, is.
Fortunately.
Well played, boys. Own goals.
Look at that.
Goal. Can't believe it.
Listen. Come on, everyone, let's clap.
Everyone in the building's clapping. We just lost a friendly.
Make it clap. Make it clap. Wasn't that Boston Rights? Make it clap.
They're clapping in the production team. We lost. People, we lost.
Oh, that's brilliant. Brilliant.
Anyway.
Who was man of the match? Who was a stand-up?
Let's do that. Let's give a man of the match, and let's just round it off there with our final thoughts. Kwarme, your man of the match.
Gosh, Tierney, I'll say, kind of stuck out for me. You know, as Artan was talking about in terms of his workmanship, he was up and down. Deliveries were good, and I think he even changed his role. Arteta changed his role in the midfield where he kind of stepped in as a kind of like a CDM. So I like that, but. Also, I'll give a shout out to Amari. Yeah, really, really good. Came on. You could tell his intent in terms of he got the ball and he was straight at the right back. Looked very dangerous, very strong, and he had a good whip on his left foot. So yeah, that was probably my best thing I can say about it.
Artan?
Yeah. I'd probably have to. So I'm going to go with Tierney as well. But if Partey played the full game, I would have said Partey. I just think that he actually just does not put a foot wrong in any shape or form. But yeah, Amari, top class as well. But I'm going to say Tierney, man. Like, really, looked really strong today.
Tierney's mine as well, yeah.
I heard what you like to say, but I'm going to break with tradition and say I thought Gabriel was absolutely awesome.
Yeah.
I'm so impressed.
Yeah,
even had that foul, the way I thought he was amazing. Big shout out obviously to Mario, but I think Gabriel was absolutely fantastic, and that is the attitude we need when we go to West Ham. Because look at him, he went down, he was up. And I was very lucky not to have that goal scored. No. Gabriel, I thought it was awesome.
Right, let's just quickly look at the stats from the game. We had 19 shots.
Wow.
They had 3. They had 1 on target. They scored 2 goals.
1 on target. That shows you.
Listen, it's one of those guys. If you're ever going to lose a game, that's probably the only way you can lose them without being angry. Dominating a friendly.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But it is what it is.
Battering Juventus.
We did batter them. 75% of the ball to their 25. 767 passes to their 276, and largely dominated in all areas of the pitch. It's a shame Reece is injured, says Aina Songo. I agree with that.
He's a shame.
He was looking quite bright today as well.
He was.
But you know what? Is what it is, guys. We lost a friendly.
Exactly.
A friendly. Really, so what? But at the same time, we spoke so highly of how the pre-season friendly wins built momentum.
Yeah.
So let's hope that they channel this in the right way and they go into West Ham. I think Arteta will be thinking, I need Saka and Martinelli back probably a bit sooner than I thought.
Yeah.
Exactly. Because if you have them there, there's no way we're not winning that game. We should have won anyway, but if you have them there,
But it also goes to show where we still need to improve in the squad depth. Of course. Because if we don't have Martinelli and Saka,
what do we do?
That off chance, what do we do? How do we score?
And sorry, James. Go on.
No, it's like I said. Saka, Jesus, Martinez, your front 3.
Brilliant.
Smith Rowe would be starting and playing and making a difference in his class.
Yes.
And there's so much talk of a new signing. I just can't believe we won't sign a forward or a winger of some kind. So that is 5 extra players that you can talk about for the majority of this second half of the season that would be involved. And so when we talk about cutting edge, the Arsenal team that we're probably going to see finish the second half of the season is going to have a different level of quality and depth than what we've seen out there. Even though I thought a lot of them actually played well, I thought Eddie was unfortunate not to have a couple goals.
He was unfortunate. He should have probably.
It was, but it just seems like it's the same thing with him in the sense that he's nearly there, he's not quite there.
Yeah.
And I just want him to just get over that line, and I don't know how much more. I'm not growing impatient with it, but I don't know how much more I can keep saying. It was unfortunate.
I agree. It's that. Literally exactly spot on. It's like he's got bad luck in the final third, and I'm like, well, what's the difference? Because I felt the same with Danny Welbeck, for example, or Iwobi. Certain things that I was like, it's just the final third. Like there's just maybe if he just steps it up that little bit, he'd be a top class player. And I'm like, how long do we wait?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
So we're making up excuses.
I think he largely played quite well today.
I thought he did.
So but anyway, guys, we're going to leave it there. Everyone who's joined the watch along, a big thank you to all of you. Do hit the like button if you enjoyed. Do leave some feedback in the comments for what you guys would like to see. We know we introduced some new things around the Dubai Super Cup in terms of the watch along. We weren't able to sort of pull that off today, but come West Ham as well. We're going to have Robbie back, we're going to have Cecil back, we'll have Turkish back as well. We're going to have everyone you love, of course, all of you guys as well who've joined me here on the sofa today. And we'll be reacting to Arsenal's return to Premier League action against West
Come on,
Ham.
boys.
Come on.
There will be content on AFTV, of course, previewing the West Ham game, looking ahead to Brighton as well, and then all sorts of, Forever Arsenal podcasts, Invincibles, all that. So check that all out. Round of applause to Ty. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much for the
Big thanks to Kwarme as well. Come on. And of course, make his debut, Artan. Well done,
boys. Thank you
and
for
just
having me.
quickly just remind everyone where they can find you as well.
Absolutely. So you can find me on Instagram at ArtanLDN. On YouTube, search ARTAN, or on Spotify as well. And make sure you stream She's a 10 Bar. The new thing out now, baby.
There you go, check it out. Kwarme, socials, you want to plug or anything?
Kwarme's AFTV on TikTok. Make sure you follow me there. Doing a lot of content there. Guna Kwarme's AFTV. Everyone knows me anyways, but yeah.
And you can find Ty at any Arsenal game ever.
Any car park.
Thank you.
Car park.
If your referees let you down,
any car park, if a referee I go to dismisses me, I will come to their car.
Okay.
In a non-threatening way to ask them.
Non-threatening way.
Yeah, non-threatening way.
No problem.
It wasn't, and also give it up for James.
Yes, James. Come on, man. Young Jay, was it? Young Jay.
Yeah,
YJ. James, you're being very, very humble. Where can we find you? Go on.
On
Plug
AFTV. Basically on AFTV. And the YouTube channel. Check it out if you want.
Absolutely.
We'll leave it there. Guys, the merch is out as well. Of course, we've got the Christmas stuff.
I love that.
Top of the tree. Good as #1 at Christmas. But of course, there's other stuff for the rest away from the Christmas season and all that. So check that all out. That's at shop.aftv.co.uk. All right, we're finally going to round off. The longest conclusion to a show you've ever seen. Big thanks for joining as always. Catch you in the next one.
Thank you.